The time has come, and so have I.
Shut your mouth.
Just talking about Dante.
Oh, then we can dig it.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Bad Game Hall of Fame. I'm Charky. With me here tonight is Johnny Baghead.
Hello.
And Cassidy.
Well, hello.
And we return to the small but uppercase M and then bigger C DmC Devil May Cry for the PC, the non-definitive edition. I've been looking forward to this one. I feel like a lot of the games I stream, not all of them, Virtual Quest was a thing, but a lot of the games I stream, I end up going like, I'm looking forward to playing this one again. And I am looking forward to playing this one again, because I think, for once, we have stumbled upon a fun game that still deserves a space in the Bad Game Hall of Fame, but I've enjoyed playing it. Like, even grinding off stream was not painful at all. It was like, oh, hell yeah, I get to play more DmC. Have
You're not allowed to tell the people you're having fun, Charky, or you're undermining our whole gimmick here. It's supposed to be torturous. All right, retake. We're going to do it live.
Okay.
All right. Now just tell them that you hated it.
All right. Man, I really hate playing DmC. I had to grind it, and I really hate the parts where there's like a couple of cutscenes that you can't hit skip on, and I feel like I could have gotten those 10 seconds back so I could have been playing more DmC, because it's real fun to play, but those couple unskippable cutscenes. Anyway, how are y'all doing today? Y'all looking forward to getting back into DmC?
Oh, yeah.
And how
there's
about
some pivotal moments coming up I'm really eager for.
And how about you, Cass, the story enjoyer? How are you looking forward to getting back to DmC?
Oh, I'm dreading it. But I guess I'm eager for the opportunity to talk more mess, to turn my critical eye towards it. You never see my critical eye; it's always underneath the hat. That's the gimmick.
That's true.
We were talking about this game yesterday. Me and Johnny over on Casual Mondays on the Bad Game Hall of Fame. Check out our Patreon for VODs. Johnny was playing some Devil May Cry 4, and we got into a lot of our thoughts on the game in advance during that segment, and we will further expound upon them, I'm sure, here in the actual playthrough.
Well, you'll have to let me know, like, what your thoughts were, because I was out like a light yesterday. I was not in any position to listen to y'all stream, unfortunately. I was fast asleep. I was like gearing up. I was readying myself for today. Not for this game, but for Turkey Stream Snack. Tonight's stream snack is cinnamon rolls. Probably Pillsbury. I didn't make them. They were breakfast this morning, and I slept through breakfast. I slept a lot. But heated them up. Still good. Definitely not having them right now. Had them before because I'm not covering my Xbox controller in cinnamon and icing. Not unless you pay me. And our drink is Alani Nu. Is it just called Peach? No, it's called Juicy Peach. Johnny, what are you having tonight?
I had quite a heavy dinner. We had some fried chicken, so I've just got some fruit, and I'm doing 2 drinks. Got my toffee nut latte, and my healthy option is an innocent fruit and veg smoothie. This is cherry, beetroot, apple, and spinach. It is apparently 27% vegetable. I don't know how this is going to be, so let's have a try.
And as you crack into that, Cass, what are you having?
Oh, you know me, just the old Monster Energy Ultraviolet. Though I do hear that tonight's episode of DmC Devil May Cry may have some poignant commentary on the state of the soft drink market. And I think it might not be too good for us, is the word on the street.
I really like how the energy drink in Devil May Cry, in DmC rather, is basically just called fuck good. When you get down to it. But Johnny, how's your drink? Does it fuck good?
It's an interesting flavor profile. It's good that it has the cherry and the apple, but it's one of those things where it tastes like it's probably healthier than it is to enjoy. so that's probably good. But it's not the worst kind of like vegetable blendy thing I've tried.
Interesting is a very peculiar word in and of itself. Because if you use it to describe like something you're watching, it's like, oh, I was watching this video, I say it was real interesting. Like, that's unequivocally like a good thing. When you use interesting to describe food, that's really never a good thing.
Yeah.
Very opposite meanings at a certain point. You know, I will say though, as far as stream snack material goes, and as far as soda goes, I saw this post on Blue Sky today of 2-liter bottles of NOS energy drink.
I always forget NOS is still around.
It is still around. I might have had it on the show at some point, but 2-liter bottle. Why don't they make more 2-liter bottles? More like of different things. Why don't we have like a Red Bull in 2 liters? Why don't we have Alani in 2 liters? Like, I know heart attacks probably deadly. NOS is probably being irresponsible, but I feel like everyone else should pick up the pace. Just offer more energy drink.
Want to read a comment from chat. Slime
Sure.
Generator, who says ultraviolet, more like ultra-violent, as in the contents of DmC, the 5th or 6th game in the Devil May Cry franchise.
We count reissues. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
That's
Wasn't
a
there one
whole-
Japanese mobile game, the Keitai game that
There's also the Pachinko game, which I almost used that as our music for the intro to this, but Pachinko game music is like mastered to be constantly pushing the wall of volume at all times. So that was
you know how
the
the Castlevania game has pull the lever. Do you think do you think the Devil May Cry game would say pull the devil trigger? That's my joke, folks. That's my Devil May Cry comedy bit for the night.
we have found the joke with which we are going to end Chargy Stream Stack on. We always got to find a joke to end it on, and that was the one. Thank you, Cass.
You're very welcome. I also want to say before the show, just a little bit of bookkeeping, that I changed the subscriber badges on the Twitch end. I made them all pixel art, so they come in different colors and gradients and such. I changed around the way, like the how many months you need to be subscribed for the trophy to change colors and whatnot. So, you know, it's something to collect, something to aspire to the purple trophy.
When we said we're going to make some big changes around here, that is exactly what you were talking about.
That was it.
So,
Joda Real with their 1 month subscriber badge says, I was thinking mine looked sickly. I use Game Boy colors. I use like a Game Boy color palette for the 1 month trophy. But if you hang in there for 3 months, it's bronze, then it's silver at 6 months, gold at a year, and then the platinum purple trophy at 2 or 3 years. I can't remember.
we have a
what I went with for that.
Virtual Boy trophy, which just stands out like an eyesore amongst like every other chat member.
Oh, I could probably do something with that.
Anyway.
I'm gonna cook. I'm gonna cook in the background.
So let's move on to that 16:9 screen and go ahead and get the game going. Now, you're not going to see it immediately, but I want to let you know that I'm going to hit play. You remember all those like intros from last time? So
Yes.
yep. So just give it a listen. Hey, no more like a minute of unskippable intro.
Wow, you discovered the skip intro console command.
Yeah,
or
just
whatever it is. Yeah.
Just put no startup movies in the launcher. That makes this game way better. Alright, so we last left off at mission. We're about to start mission 5, Virility. So I have bumped up the difficulty to Nephilim, which is as high as it can go in the new game cycle. Because I don't know, I think it'd be more fun to play with like the full suite of like enemy the moves a little bit harder. If it ends up being too hard, I'll knock it down, but I really don't anticipate it. Let's see. Do we need to get any upgrades? Honestly, I don't know what I bought between last episode and this time.
I see you got Demon Evade, which I remembered is actually super broken in this game.
It is, but it is annoyingly hard to pull off. That was way too early.
Yeah,
Let
yeah.
me see if I can get it.
I mean, you dodged it. You didn't get hit.
Do your thing. It's like almost like a just the fin timing on it.
Oh, okay,
It is
yeah.
so tight.
There we
got
go.
it.
Yeah.
And that would, like, amp up the damage by a lot. Honestly, what's better, I think, is the Angel Dodge. Because you can just get a further dodge out of it.
Yeah, yeah.
With a lot of invulnerability. Anyway, I went back and also did some of the, picked up some of the items I missed. But there's really not a lot I could do. Because most of it is locked behind getting further weapons and coming back to the levels.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Let's just continue.
You know, I'm going to highlight a comment here. So, Slime Generator is clearly joking when they say, in the original version of that main menu art of all the angels, Dante's his whole dick and balls out. Ironically, the original version of that art, the angels are all naked. You can find it out there. Those, like, silver hot pants are photoshopped onto it.
Succubus, an ancient one.
Oh,
With
hold on.
clothes slime.
Succubus?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what they use to control us.
They juice the succubus to put in their soda.
If there was a succubus soda, I'd be sucking down that shit every fucking day. Are you kidding me? Sign me up for Virility. Get me a fucking keg.
By 21% and enhance sexual performance by 63% if drunk
How do people
daily.
actually fall for this crap?
If you're told something's true often enough, you tend to believe it. He told me I was crazy for seeing demons.
Yeah. They tried telling me I was a basket case too.
Wanted to put me on drugs. Said it would make me better. They lied. They just wanted to keep me weak. Docile.
I feel like that's slightly problematic to toss in there.
How did you figure it all out?
Oh, you don't fucking say.
Virgil pulled me out of the nightmare. You?
When the people you're supposed to trust most turn out to be demon scum, your eyes really do open up to evil everywhere. I took a stand, fought back, killed, no matter the consequences. So I chose my path and I lived by it. And after all that anger, violence, and death, you have to dig deep. Deep into your own heart. To see if you're still sane. Or if you can still call yourself human.
You have to finger your chessie
I wasn't
to
crazy.
see if you're...
By the way, that cutscene's weird. That whole, like, flashback thing, he didn't say any of that out loud. If you, like, cut that out and you look at the cutscene without it, there's no time elapses. So he didn't say any of that. He just kept that to himself to be a dick.
The succubus is hidden deep inside the factory, but there is no physical way to reach it from our world. Only from Limbo. There's a rift inside.
Rest assured that it has been deemed both safe and beneficial by our trustworthy and ethical scientists.
And so we return to the most on-the-nose video game ever written. Soda bad, energy drink bad, but also taking your medication bad.
Well, yeah, this is a problem where you don't use subtext.
Said you'd been here
And you
before.
say,
Yes, but it was during an out-of-body experience years ago.
Flying around in spirit form.
Yeah, in Limbo. Virgil says it could be an effective intelligence gathering tool, but I can't do it at will.
So, how did you do it before?
It was triggered by extreme psychosomatic trauma
Hi.
to nightmares.
What are the nightmares?
It's in the past now.
Nightmares are when you go to sleep and you have bad dreams, but that's not important right now.
it's in the past, but I'm going to keep bringing it up constantly. But don't worry about it.
You know that if a game tells you to go somewhere, you never go there. Right?
Well, unfortunately, I'm pretty sure in this section, there is literally nothing outside of where she goes.
Alright.
This is just one of those awesome walk and talk sections.
Though it was
Except they've
walk
already
and talk,
stopped
they made me
talking.
do this.
But yeah, when your text says like, "Oh no, demons are real," so anyone who sees them isn't having mental health issues, then automatically medication has to be bad. And that's why you can't just.
There's more reason to take medication than, you know, hallucinations, though. Which
it's
makes
like,
it worse. It
Yeah.
makes it like a broader picture of it.
It's funny.
What is?
I expected it to be bigger. A lot bigger. But then, I was just a child when I was here, and I was in limbo,
What are you doing here?
escaping my nightmares.
Like going to the soda factory.
You came
Thought it would
to
work.
to escape your nightmares.
Yes.
Listen, I'm someone who has really bad nightmares, and during my waking hours, I help host Bad Game Hall of Fame, so I know how it is.
All you have to do is
Oh.
steps back to the mixing room.
Should be easy enough.
Maybe, but the demons may sense you once you're in limbo, so stay alert.
And once I've reached the mixing room,
You'll be able to descend deep down into the factory.
and kill me a succubus.
I just wanted to look at their
Maybe they can get
mascot
along.
here. Their slurm-ass mascot.
I actually know how the succubus section goes in this. Again, I'm not new to this. So all this succubus talk I'm doing now is going to backfire in a major way later down the line, but I have to stay on brand until then.
All right, see you on the other side.
I will say that, you know, Kat's right. This is not big enough a facility for the leading soft drink in the country, if not the world, as they are trying to suggest that it is.
I mean,
It's
I was thinking about this before the stream. The way this story is told, the idea that any place exists outside of this town
Down here.
is kind of questionable.
It's a lot bigger here in Limbo. What next?
Head back to the mixing room. I'll meet you there.
Obesity, stupidity, drink virility.
Why would they... Okay, so the messages, right? Like, sometimes the messages are, like, directed directly at Dante. Like, we hate you, right? Sometimes they're, like, subliminal for humanity. Like, you know, be docile or whatever. What is this supposed to be for? Like, are we trying to tell people, like, be obese? Like, as in, like, yeah, I should actually be obese.
No, it's the thing they're trying to do is like, this is what
Poison.
this is without the propaganda. Like, this is what it really is. This is what it really wants, which is a bit weird because again, it contradicts it. It swaps between different usage.
Like, consume, you know, that makes sense in the whole we live situation. Like, yes, consume. Poison, I feel like that's a bad subliminal message. Like, I like this drink, but for some reason I'm thinking of poison?
Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't drink this.
Yeah, no, it's confusing.
the writers are hacks.
I know.
But yeah, no, like, we'll go through the whole story, but the way this story is told, like, there are no references to other countries. I'll spoil this because I don't care. Everyone in this game's white, aside from a demon. We'll get to him later.
What took you so long?
I don't think this takes place on an Earth. This is just a city, and that's all existence. They say, oh yeah, nationwide, but I don't know. This guy seems to be controlling the entire of apparently humanity from this one city.
Oh,
Well, it's
he
close
called
to
the
home. It's
president
comfortable
himself.
for him. Yeah, you know, a real video game would like have you trekking across the country, the different hotspots, but because this is hacked together nonsense, it all just has to occur within like a 5-block radius. That is your world. And I mean, you know, all these environments within Limbo are distinctly themed well enough. It's not like they cheaped out in terms of the level design
no.
stylistically, but just conceptually, just in terms of like actual distance traveled, if you think about it for more than like half a second, it all falls apart.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You know, I think I've watched other playthroughs where that also happens. I don't know how you're actually supposed to do that.
I think you're supposed to do demon grab and then immediately go into this.
Ah, okay.
I kind of assumed you were to throw me a bone. Speaking of demon, only use demon weapons on these.
Could you point me to the mixing room?
Oh, yes. Our
Alright,
color-coded friends.
Come on, do your thing.
I never asked you this, Sharky, in the previous episode, but how do you feel about the soundtrack to this game?
It's fine. It's like accepting this as its own thing and not like proper Devil May Cry. This is kind of music I'm fine with. And I think in some places, like, it actually kicks in a way that's, I don't know what the word I'm looking for. Satisfying, perhaps? Like, I was looking back at some of my footage, and, like, I felt like, oh yeah, this is actually good battle music for this part. But it doesn't have, like, the charm that I think proper Devil May Cry has. Again, I accept this as its own thing, but if I'm comparing to Devil May Cry does it better.
Yeah, like, because of how I feel about specific songs, I think it fits what this game was going for. And there is, we won't see it today, but there is one level in particular that really leverages the music very well.
Question from the chat. Since Sid mentioned, well, the platforming is bad, so that's true to classic DMC. Carmen asks, has any character action game ever had good platforming?
Devil May Cry 5 actually did make the platforming decent.
Having a hard time thinking at the moment of any.
I don't think the platforming in Bayonetta's ever bad, but it's also
Perfunctory.
I mean, even calling it platforming, I think is it's very optional, and it's usually just for collectibles and stuff like that.
I know some people who will, one, claim that Doom Eternal is a character action game.
It's close.
And two, that the platforming in it is fine. I disagree with both those points, but...
It's... My argument is it's close. It's just... If it didn't have the whole, like, hey, this is the one way we want you to do everything... Not just in fighting the enemies, but also, like, the challenges that get you extra skill up points. You know, the ones that are like, oh, use a grenade to kill 3 enemies, or do this specific gore kill on this enemy. If those were instead just, like, end of battle rankings like Bayonetta did, then I would count it. I know that's not much of a difference, but... And then, you know, freeing up the enemy stuff. Like, have more freedom that way.
So I am
basically the ideal version of that game is one that I would ROM hack if I actually knew what the hell I was doing, and I do not.
Pardon me, folks, for 1 second. Just adjusting the volume personally on my end because having a hard time hearing my co-host.
You know, I will say a problem with the platforming in Doom Eternal is there's a skill that gives you more air control, and that's basically required in that game. I don't think you should play without it. So that should just be how the game controls normally.
I feel like that's a problem with a lot of character action stuff, is that there are moves that are like, yeah, you need this. Like, honestly, this is required, and you still have to buy it. Like, double jump in, like, older DMC. Or in DMC in general. Like, you get it free here, but in other things where it's like... In the first game, it's real fucking expensive, isn't it?
Yeah, they've always made it very expensive.
Yeah.
And I never quite understood.
Trick the TM suggests that Hi-Fi Rush did have okay platforming.
That's
If that
I
counts.
still need to try it.
It's been a long
really
time
do need
since
to
I've
play
done
that game.
that, but it was, yeah, it had some fun sections. But those fun sections I'm thinking of at my head were kind of more, what word I'm looking for, on rails-ish. Ooh, okay, we're good.
What's that text at the bottom of this chasm? If you can look down, is it just obesity again?
Poison?
Oh, there's poison there, then there's
Stupidity?
stupidity.
I think we've seen, like, the 4 things.
They should just market this as dumb bitch juice. And I drink the shit out of that, too.
I think they want me to use my gun on those, but eh.
Yeah, like, well, I'll talk about the subtext thing here. Is a good example. There's that bit in the cutscene where they're talking about the soda, and you hear the advert saying the most ridiculous thing about improving sexual performance and yada yada. And Dante's like, well, how can anyone fall for this? And we have to remember in canon, this drink legitimately mind controls you. It's not like talking about the commentary of what advertising and repetition does to you. No, in this world, it doesn't matter. Because it's all demon magic. There's no grander reason or human psychology to it. It's just demon magic. And I know Cash, you said like, oh, you're the big story one, but I think has just as much complaints about the story as I do the gameplay, because it's such a bad, lazy commentary on like capitalism, consumerism and stuff.
Yeah.
I imagine this is what, like, the most online chat thinks. Like, oh yeah, this is how these kind of people think. Like, they think this is the most bite-in, like, up you the man commentary out there. And it's like, no, this really isn't.
It's the scribblings found in a high schooler's composite notebook. The game.
I'm just gonna go this way, I think. Oh, I gotta see that cutscene again. Alright.
Oh yeah, I remember this level weirdly has a couple of split paths, and some of them there's no difference. Like you don't find different items or different enemy encounters.
Yeah, they're just kind of split. Some of them do have some
maybe
stuff.
That's subtext. Maybe that's the one piece of subtext about the illusion of choice. Probably not, but
yeah, this is actually an
we
art
can
game.
pretend.
Tanya says,
hear.
you can't tell me what to do, Dad, kind of game. Sid says, Dante would say homophobia is gay. And Veslas asks, hey, have you guys ever read Adbusters?
No.
That I've never heard of. I'd have to look it up.
It's a, I think it's like an activism network, magazine. It's like an organization that has a magazine. I know of it, haven't read it. I knew someone who was very big into it back in the day. And they tried to sell me on it. There was a term that they used. We were together. They wrote me into making like parodies of advertisements. I don't know if they called it ad busting or there was some other word for it. And the idea is that we would print them out as stickers and like plaster them on lampposts or whatever. Culture jamming. That is exactly the term. Thank you, Veslas.
Oh, I haven't.
Yeah.
I've not heard that term in a while.
I don't think I've ever heard of that, but that definitely sounds like a thing that I 100% believe has been a thing.
Yeah, I was deep into it for like all of a minute. No disrespect towards it, but you know, I found other ways to occupy my time at a certain point.
Well, so we haven't talked about it a bit, but this, I think now we have more of the tool set. It's made me notice it. Dante has some real strange combat barks in this game, especially when he's using the scythe.
You mean those noises?
Yeah.
Hey, Julia!
At one point, he just goes, "Ho!" Yo.
That's his Andrew Dice Clay tribute, who was also a big influence on Dante's design in this game, I like to imagine. Clint Eastwood, I fucked him. Oh.
There's another weapon that has even worse combat barks, I remember. Makes me wonder if a different actor did them, maybe. Doesn't really sound like the same guy.
Slime says, this game is doing culture jamming, but it's a version of culture jamming where nobody reads books. Yeah, it's the version of culture jamming I was doing, too.
Any enemies can affect each other.
Folks, I'm not smart. Like I said, I'm drinking that dumb bitch juice every day, so...
Okay, so this is the bit I hate in this combat. If there's anything I really dislike in this combat, it's when they put these guys in the same room with each other.
Yeah.
Because you're fighting two guys at once, and, like, you're in a situation where if they get next to each other, your attack will just stop working and bounce off.
Yeah, and it seems intentionally designed that way. That they want that to happen.
But I might as well mention that since I'm playing on the harder difficulty now, Nephilim, the difference that I know of is that enemies hit harder, so you can tell I'm like losing more health here.
Yeah, yeah.
And also, they actually have their full suite of moves.
Ah, okay.
So
yeah,
there's
I think some of the devs might have said like technically, oh, this was around that era where a lot of games were saying like, oh, hard mode is actually the like intended experience. We just make normal mode feel easier just because it makes like first timers feel more infused or whatever.
I don't like that one bit. I say this as someone who believes that the intended way to play Stalker 2 is master difficulty, or any Stalker game is master difficulty, but when I say that, I should also acknowledge that that's fucking stupid. Make normal the way that people are supposed to play a game, just period. You balance to normal.
Yeah.
That's how Hideo Kojima, you know, when he balances the games, he only focuses on normal mode. He's like, this is the experience I want for normal mode, and I leave it to the developers to scale the game up for, like, hard or extreme, wherever the equivalents are. Because he's like, this is the experience that most people are going to have.
Anyway, as far as like the full moveset things go, I'm not gonna be able to like call them all out specifically, but I think from what I can tell, there's that normal enemy that has a shield and a sword. I think they have like a charge move now that they didn't have when I was playing in normal mode. So this is going to be like maybe not the full ass experience because you know we're not playing in Son of Sparta, but this is going to be closest to that in a new game.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I assume that's one mode I don't know too much about. But I assume, much like the previous games, you get late game enemies showing up earlier, so
I don't know
to do it this way.
Okay, yeah, I think Son of Sparta does give you late game enemies earlier, but also you can only do that on New Game Plus. So I would have all my stuff. So
yeah,
that's bad for this kind of playthrough.
There's kind of the joke that your first playthrough in Devil May Cry is just like your practice run more than anything else.
Oh, that's definitely the case for this game.
Sparta, yeah. But
I don't love that either.
I'll give. Oh yeah, but you can still get a satisfying experience out of normal. It's just for the sickos out there, like me and Sharky. But I'll give them credit for keeping the like enemies' behavior upgrading with difficulty thing that Devil May Cry does.
Yeah, this is my first time playing this was in normal mode, and it was a good, solid experience still. I didn't feel like I was missing out on anything. It just meant I could go back to a harder difficulty and get like more new stuff out of it.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm coming from the angle of the genre outsider. That this is not my scene necessarily.
Honestly, like when you go to the difficulty levels, it does say what they intend the difficulties to be, you know, who should play them. And it doesn't say like this is the real experience. It says like, hey, this is if you're not comfortable with like character action games. this is if you're new to DMC in general, but still feel like you can do this. And this one is, hey, you're used to DMC in general. You know how this is going to go.
Yeah. When I think of the, oh, this is the intended bin, that's Halo that started doing that for hard mode. I forget which game, like Halo 3 or Reach, it was around that time. I assume you need to stay in your circle.
So hopefully they'll follow me to this better circle. No, wait. Let's go to this circle.
Guess the guns would actually be kind of useful here.
I don't know if we both have to be in the circle or not. I fell for it again, award. Okay, come here. When I say come here, I mean come here. Alright, easy ones left.
And just remind me, what do you get for clearing these? I guess we'll see it in a second.
You get, ta-da, a piece of health up.
A heart container.
Yeah, yeah. It's exactly like Zelda. You get them in pieces of 4. You get 4 of them, you get a whole heart.
And you can buy whole ones in the shop, but they get progressively more and more expensive. You know, that's one thing I... Ooh. Ooh. Game?
Did the game just crash?
The game crashed.
I think the game just crashed. Oh, dear.
Huh.
I've never had that happen before. I have like 24 hours in this game. I've never had it crash.
Well, you know, if you're going to skip the intro, you're going to have to make up for it in some other way. Too much poison, says Joda Real in chat.
Right, so when I say continue... Oh, thank God. Okay, it actually continues.
Yeah.
Okay.
God bless checkpoints, huh?
Am I going to have to do that other thing again? It probably didn't save
the secret mission,
my
yeah.
secret mission. Well, that's a short one. That was like a 2-minute long mission. So something I was going to say when I was talking about item... When I was talking about the item costs is... That's another thing I've never really been a fan of in Devil May Cry in general, is the fact that when you buy items, they will always be more expensive in the future. Like, I mean, I'm someone who plays those games and never uses items because I want the ranks. I feel like if I fuck up, I might as well just start over. But I still don't like... I mean, I get it for, like, permanent upgrades. That makes sense. But for, like, just heals and stuff, I feel like that's real punitive. To be like, oh, you need to heal, well, it's going to get harder and harder to be able to do that.
See, I get what they're doing, though, because they're trying to subtly teach you not to lean on items that way.
Yeah, but I feel like
you can lean on them, but it's going to be harder to lean on them because we ultimately want you to not rely on them.
Yeah, but I feel like if people need a crutch, they should be able to take it. Like, I know the game does eventually say, if you fuck up enough, the game will say, like, hey, you want to drop it down to, like, an easier difficulty? And that's something, but... Yeah, no. Again, it doesn't matter as much to me because I just never use items in these games, if I can help it.
Where the hell is that mixing room?
And where's that damn 4th Chaos Emerald while we're at it?
Yep, that's what I was thinking. Okay, it should be
Vesles did ask how long till Bill O'Reilly in the game.
We're probably not seeing that today.
Yeah, probably not.
They go on to say, literally the only thing I remember about the game, thanks to an Angry Joe video, not a joke.
You sound defeated for
I feel
some
like
reason.
that is also there are 2 moments people remember from this game outside of if they've seen Angry Joe or not, and it is the Bob Barbus guy, and a specific level later on at a club.
Did I?
I think it might have saved it actually.
I think people do
Is anything-
remember
Okay.
the dialogue exchange between Dante and the succubus as well.
Oh, and that, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, I should rephrase that. If people remember anything positive about this game, those are the two things I always hear people say.
Ah, okay.
You know what? I'll check later to see if I actually did it or not. I can check the secret mission menu.
Yeah.
I feel like I would have had more health if that was the case.
I think what it might be is that they use a separate save bin to track like collectibles versus level progress. It's always interesting how games track that, like where you pick up a collectible die, you'll go back to an earlier checkpoint, but then the collectible's got. Just how different games differ on that. There must be some programming thing that I don't know that's the cause of that.
Want any of this right now? I might.
The
watch
only
stream.
thing I remember about Angry Joe. Let's get back to the Caspian Petty Hour. The only
jacket?
thing, because I never watched his shit. I saw like maybe like 1 minute of his video back in like 2010, and I thought to myself, wow, this guy's a hack. No shade. Remember when I do these things, I'm not shading folk who, enjoyed them, enjoyed content as a kid or a teenager or whatever. But I always just remember him trying to interview Jeff Keighley about the Game Awards, and Jeff just shuts him down so effectively, so concisely. It's one of the most cathartic fucking videos of all time. Just watching this fucking YouTuber just flailing in real time, talking to an actual member of the industry. And you'll notice that Angry Joe did not interview a lot of developers or industry people after that. He experimented with it briefly, and it backfired.
I'm guessing our succubus is on the other end of that.
That's right. This way.
Trouble. Give me a minute.
Be careful.
Carmen in chat says, I don't want to hand anything to Jeff Keighley. Fuck him. Vessel says, Doritos Man versus YouTube hack, not a fight where I pick sides. There was a moment. Look, I'm not going to cape too hard for Jeff Keighley, with what he's become. But if you remember, there was a moment in time where he was an actual journalist and documentarian who, made contributions to the industry at a certain point. And, the Game Awards, as much as I don't watch that shit and never have and never will, you could make an argument that there is a version of that, his commitment to that concept, that, you can appreciate it on some level, that, the industry probably is big enough to deserve some sort of recognition show. The fact that it turned into just pure marketing is somehow besides the point.
It's definitely gotten worse. Like that first year or two, you could see.
Yeah, the Spike TV years where they opened with Game of the Year. And
No.
When
it was
in the first 5 seconds of the show.
No, when it was called, the Game Awards, not VGAs. Woo!
I do like how Rocco had to explain to people. Todd and Aaron, the end of year Game Awards they do every year, Mega 64.
I still got hit by that.
Yeah, fuck that. That's bullshit.
The bit that they open up every one of their Game of the Year videos with giving it to Game of the Year out the gate is a direct parody of the Spike TV, the original VGAs, where the first thing they do in the first minute of the show is give Game of the Year to Madden. Before cutting immediately to Bubba Sparks performing music live.
Is there more health around? Oh, Jesus, I'm staring at this stuff again.
See, they were right. It is poison.
Yep. Well. I'm
Game
curious
over.
about taking the game over and seeing where it puts me.
I think it does give you a checkpoint option.
Yeah.
So I think the orb is just an instant revive in this.
So do
Okay,
you lose
this is what
points
I
for
wanted.
that?
Yeah, I lose points at the end of the level for that, but I do want like the full health back.
Would you have also lost points for using the gold orb?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, that's how these games are. Like, if you want to get the best score, if you have to use an item or, like, take a loss, just start the level over. You
Yeah,
can
so I
still beat the level, but this is if you really want to chase for points.
Yeah, I know. I do not remember which it would consider worse. Like, which penalized you more. It's mainly that if you use, like, an orb or healing item, you lose out on the no items bonus.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk more about succubus drinks, a succubus branded drink. What would you call it? Because virility, it's on the nose. But we can go even more on the nose, I think.
I mean, there's an energy drink in the UK that's just called Pussy, so
That's
I
strong.
don't know where we go
That's
from
bold.
there.
I mean, I've been calling Virility fuck good, so...
Limbo's biggest loser.
I do like how that guy just keeps immediately crashing into a wall. Nope, didn't do that correctly.
You like that America's Biggest Loser is a concept in DmC Devil May Cry?
Oh, it fits right into their, sick, twisted
Yeah.
universe. Like, taken right out of the headline. I don't know what I'm saying.
They
Opens
should
all
just call him the king of limbo.
It's all the same questions that Einstein being in the Star Fox universe.
And so
the
they
same
took it
issue.
out like cowards.
Yep. Cowards, yeah.
We got some suggestions in chat. Vesla says they should have made the drink out of semen just for the shock material. So that would have been an incubus.
Yes.
Trick the TM says, well, depends where it comes from, the succubus, but mother's milk? That's good. That's strong. Slime says, I have my own idea for what succubus juice would be called, but another company already took squirt. Louise PSC says, liquid desire. I like that.
That would actually probably do well, yeah.
I'm thinking, all right, this is my suggestion. Suck on this, but it's SUCC on this.
That would be a good flavor name, right?
Dante, you okay?
I think.
That looked pretty nasty.
That? Nah. That was just a big fat joke. Come on, let's go get this succubus.
I wonder if that was just the end of the level. Science Sport DS.
Joe P. Real says, Morgan Ailsland. Sab.
Ab. And minus 10%.
Is it possible to get S for style points, A for time, and then a D for completion?
I don't know if D
Yeah.
for completion is... I guess you'd have to pick up absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Do I want to upgrade anything at all?
How am I coming through,
Demon
by the way? Am I
Evade-
roboting a lot?
You were roboting
Right.
earlier, but you kind of stopped.
But it's... Yeah.
This doesn't seem super useful.
No.
That could be alright. I don't know. I'm gonna wait until I get the next weapon before I start putting things in it. Actually, wait. Yeah, put points in the judgment.
Yeah.
And then...
And you might as well upgrade that,
yeah.
considering it is just a damage boost if it happens.
And I need 5,000 to get that.
Gun Tanks in Space says, suck Spirilla.
Hmm.
Well, howdy. Yeah. If you're just joining us, if you're not familiar, my brand is that I'm comically into succubi and succubi-related ephemera and concepts. All right, that's all the context you need.
Ah, right, yeah.
You know?
Remember
This
so.
kind of makes it look like piss going down this tube.
Yeah.
Now what?
This is all liquid.
I mean, have you ever poured out like a Red Bull into a glass? To be honest,
I can't follow.
it kind of looks like piss.
An egg timer?
I mean, it looks the same going in as it does coming out. That Red Bull, I tell you what.
It sounds like you need to hydrate more.
You jump,
Drink more Red Bull.
twist.
Are you serious?
Trust me.
I jump, you twist.
Good luck.
That's falling, Dante, not jumping.
Falling is just jumping in reverse.
Better than falling in reverse.
So it's
That man
jump-
sucks.
Ah!
All right, don't do this. Run.
Falling in reverse could have scored this game.
They
Oh,
could.
God, yeah.
They could have, I guess.
Carmen says, it's not flying, it's falling with style. That's the line I was looking for in my head.
Yeah.
Couldn't find it.
Yeah, I don't need to fight these things.
You know what it is? I think that line, whatever space in my brain that was meant to allocate for that line, remembering where it comes from, was overridden with, they fly now, they fly now. They operate on a similar wavelength.
Wonder if I'm gonna lose because I spent so much time picking around with enemies. Oh, I heard.
You should be fine. Yep.
There we go. Yeah, I'm just gonna ignore the rest of them.
It's a bit weird. I don't know how you would ever do this section and do all the enemies outside of just being fully leveled up. Or
I don't.
knocking
Maybe it's
enemies
just
off
not
the ledge.
intended.
I know, it's so weird for a Devil May Cry game to be like, yeah, we're putting enemies here and you don't fight them, whatever you do.
I know
it's very Devil May
where I
Cry
was supposed
2-esque.
to go, but
Open up.
there we go. Maybe I did that wrong. I actually thought that area back there was where I was supposed to go. I was looking for secrets.
Did you catch the joke, by the way, that the thread there where Dante accused Kat of just gussying up an egg timer as part of their witch gimmickry, their witch gadgets, and she claimed it wasn't, and then it made an egg timer sound?
I mean,
Dante's like-
I do like the DIY witchcraft stuff that she's got going on.
It's at least something. It's an angle.
Oh, right, yeah. In my brain, that last section was part of the previous level, and you just went straight into the boss fight.
No, I remember doing this
No.
boss fight a lot, and that involves going through that section a lot.
Oh, that's not good for, yeah, if you're doing score attack stuff.
Probably gonna have to shut up in a minute, Art, way,
Yeah.
and sort of let this play out. But there's a conversation about video game metal that I want to jump in on so badly right now.
Mick Gordon, yay or nay?
Yay, obviously.
In general,
We got fun,
yay.
That
Yay.
sucks.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's like a
hold
shout
up
out
a
Killer
sec.
Instinct Season 1 and 2.
If you want
did
to talk
that.
about it, I found a secret room. Let's assume I
Oh,
have
cool.
a key.
Yep. Listen to his cover of, or his version of The Partisan, that he used, produced for, I think it was the credits for Wolfenstein The Old Blood.
Mhm.
Oh, some textures aren't loading here. You're
yeah.
gonna have to. But yeah, video game metal, generally pretty lame, as it turns out, barring like Crazy Chocobo. That was pretty peak. But no, the lamest thing in the world is people doing metal covers of video game music. And don't get me wrong, I listen to some of it. I'm not completely immune. I like some Rachad EB stuff. But, you know, a classic pastime activity of mine is just finding video game music that I bet someone has done a metal cover of this, and going to YouTube and then searching, you know, insert video game song here, metal.
Oh, all the way back here.
and-
Holy shit.
There are some classics I can recommend. One of my favorites recently is there is Snake's Revenge, the NES sequel Metal Gear. and there is a cover of the Metal Gear missile launch theme from that game that is one of the funniest things I have ever heard in my life. I will link it here.
I would like a metal cover of the codec call noise, right? Just a real extended.
You'd really have to milk that.
There's a cover from back in the day of Awakening, I think it's called, from Castlevania 3, which is just that jingle that plays at the start of the game when Belmont like stands up in the graveyard, and it's like a minute and a half long. So yeah, it's really like extended.
Mm-hmm.
Carmen pointing out that one of my favorite bands in the world is a band by the name of Undead Corporation, who did start off as a Toho cover band, but they're an actual band of actual musicians
What I miss?
who got together to do some Dojin music, and then they very quickly, when they actually got established, were like, okay, now it's time for us to play the music we actually want to play, to compose the music we actually want to compose.
7, 6, 5. Fuck.
Well, you're fucked.
You don't got this.
Try it again. Let me get right over there so I don't miss it this time.
I always have to reference it. We can no longer find it from our extended remixes of video game songs. There was like a half an hour medley of Castlevania music.
I remember that. I think
with the trooper in it. Not to kill your bit, but yeah,
yeah, just halfway through, just randomly cuts into the trooper for no reason, and then just goes back to Castlevania music. It's like, yeah, I get it, but it's just so confusing. I don't know if they were trying to trick people into thinking it was a Castlevania song, or just they loved the trooper that much that they just couldn't help themselves.
I mean, you remember how Megadeth did that song Holy War, and then like halfway through they're like, you know what, the Punisher's real cool, and they just take a complete detour to talk about it. Maybe that was like that. Like, you know what, Trooper? Awesome song. Let's play some of it. All right. Back to Castlevania.
Cass, what do you think of the Megadeth song Never Dead?
It's probably the best part of that game, and it's not a very good Megadeth song.
How the fuck do I keep missing that one? We're doing it. We're gonna do this. How do I never notice it on the way down?
Here? Maybe it's above where you start.
No, there's a fork where you keep going right instead of left.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah,
so
it's here. You've
I know.
gone in
no,
the
I
other
noticed.
direction.
I know, but I need to get these anyway. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab.
Go all the way left. Don't go this way.
No, I know what I'm doing this time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see what Cass is good. I see what's gonna happen, Cass. Watch this.
Yeah, I see what they're doing, but I'm just thinking like efficiency.
I'm thinking obesity.
I'm thinking stupidity.
I wonder why. Can't put my
That's
finger on it.
subliminal messaging. It's working on you, Johnny. You've been infected.
What if, like, in New Game Plus, there was another layer of Limbo, and it was all saying stuff like, good game, fun combat system, awesome story.
Yeah, it's very ineffective, unfortunately.
Now I want to find out how hard it is to mod and change the text in this game. It's on the walls here.
I mean, if people can find a way to mod a mustache and sombrero onto Dante for the upcoming cutscene,
yeah,
it can't be the hardest thing in the world to modify. Speaking of...
Sick.
Here it is, Cass. What
My
you
beloved.
wanted.
Wow. She's beautiful. I'm your prom date, you ugly sack of shit. My name, by the way, is Dante.
Dante, son of Spada and Eva, the
Yeah, but you can call me Dante the Demon Killer. Has a nice ring to it, don't you think?
Doesn't.
kill me. You can't kill me. I'm 1,200 years old.
You don't look a day over 12,000.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Mwah. Mwah.
Chef's kiss.
Brian
Yeah,
the
she's
Slum
keeping up-
Factory is a 13th and final episode of the first season of the American animated series Futurama. Wait, sorry. I got distracted.
Nice nails. Let me cut them for you.
So there's a lot to be said. First of all, I'll say, she was puking up all that free product. I mean, that you can put
Yeah.
that shit in a can.
That's free samples right there.
But, okay. Do you want to talk about the fight first? Is there anything that needs to be said here about this encounter?
It's all right.
It's very God of War
Yeah.
boss. Like big thing with the arms reaching at you. Which, spoilers for a lot of the boss fights in this game. They are like this.
Okay,
Well,
so
the-
here's the
the
issues
big
with the
fi-
dialogue.
Yeah.
So here's
Yeah,
the
you go
problem.
with the dialogue, yeah.
It's very lame. It's very try hard.
Hey,
the
succubus,
problem
suck
is,
on this. 'Cause
That's almost something. That's the closest he gets. But, instead they have to couch it under layers of fuck you, fuck you. Okay, so let's pretend that this is the
What?
Dante origin story.
what did I? What?
Huh? Huh?
Huh?
Well, brilliant scripting here.
You are making this game do things, Sharky, I have never seen it do. So credits, kudos.
Wow, this is so janky.
What am I?
So let's pretend this is the Dante origin story, and he's just new to this shit, right? In the same way that like a Nero in Devil May Cry 4. See, that's almost funny. The shit I'm almost out of here is almost fun. I chuckled. I realize how difficult it's going to be to try to get this fucking point out here, but I'm going to try anyway. That, Nero in Devil May Cry 4 is a perfect example of introducing a new character who is inexperienced, who is doing this shit for the first time in this universe, where they think they have everything figured out, and then they realize over the course of the game that no, actually, they are like a step behind and not a step ahead of everyone else. This Dante, right, if you're positioning this as Dante's first mission, Dante's first adventure,
Which this is not within the context of
which
this
it's
game.
not, but this universe is Dante. This is his first outing to this extent, where he is like saving the world,
Yes.
and so he has a lot to learn. The problem is, this Dante has no arc.
I'm going to pull out your head.
The problem is that this Dante doesn't grow or develop or mature or figure anything out by the end of this game. So what that says, writing-wise, is in what is the case here is that the writers think that this is cool, that Dante responding with "fuck you" is the epitome of cool. It's that no, he's peaked. This is cool. This is it. This is where we want to be with this character. This is him firing on all cylinders, being as cool as he can be, and for that to be as good as it gets in terms of Dante's interplay.
How about that? You dumped.
It's just
I have another
so
question as well,
lame.
Cass. How do you feel about the subversion? It's a succubus, but she's not sexy. She's... not the
different strokes
stereotypical
for different
succubus. Yeah, yeah.
I'm sure this design works for someone. I mean, am I personally disappointed that it's not?
Well,
like
no,
some
I'm more just
goth
mean, like,
mommy type. You know, sure. I'll admit. I'll confess.
like, are they being clever by subverting the expectation, or is it more just try-hard edginess to be like, oh, but our succubus ain't like your typical succubus, she ain't like other girls.
It's fine. The twist is fine.
I mean, the boss figh's been over.
Know what your problem is?
Yeah, this is just a QTE finisher bit.
Clingy.
God, I miss Dante.
He's only... There he is.
I think you're all mixed up.
That one sucked.
Yeah, that's like terrible, like 70s Bond era. Like, we don't know what to do for Bond puns. And also, I referenced it. Oh,
What a
never
Photoshop
mind.
job there. What an incredible.
I feel like we should have had this looping as our epilogue stream for today.
My succubus.
Really?
You know, I'm digging this new lead singer for Ghost. I think this is a good new phase.
Works up some joke about him having a guman. A la, like, you know,
Dead.
Oh,
Mafia, Sopranos, at all.
the traitor. What of him?
Who does Mundus remind me of in this game? What actor?
It fights.
we really have not given this game enough shit for their version of Mundus. But we haven't had much opportunity.
So this
Trick
is
the TM says Michael Chiklis.
maybe.
Diane Hedgel says Joe Rogan.
Maybe.
Carmen says Bruce Willis. Tim Rod says he's a guy from Netflix Daredevil. That's Vincent D'Onofrio. I'm thinking of the guy who shows up in Reservoir Dogs for a minute, who's like the big crime boss who hires the gang to do the job, who is a famous actor in his own right, who I just can't remember the fucking name of or any other roles for.
Here's the big question, because I did allude to it earlier. Did no one during development point out the episode of Futurama with the Slurm Queen? Because to this day, this is like, that's the joke everyone makes. Is that this game has the Slurm Queen in it. Just
was on
unironic. It's
purpose.
not a joke. It's not a funny...
Maybe that's
It's
what they were
just like-
going for.
They're just like, oh yeah, the episode's so good, we're just gonna copy it. Exactly.
So what's the name of the gauntlets from the other games? Is it Beowulf? Is one of them.
It changes, yeah.
And it
There's
does change, but-
Beowulf, there's Balrog at one point, yeah.
Because this is that,
Here
basically.
they're Hulk hands.
Yeah, but they're Hulk hands. Alright. What do I
A
need to
little
get for
bit.
this?
The moves are very... Some of them are similar, some of them are... They're animated very different.
So let's try it out real quick. In a controlled environment.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Gun Tanks in chat has it. Beowulf, Gilgamesh, Balrog. And Devil May Cry 1 had Ifrit.
So Snake Eye, which is this, is that. Let me see this. What?
Someone in chat said, I think it was Guntank said Hulk hands.
Yes.
For
I think
this.
we've all
said
been
Hulk,
saying Hulk
I said
hands.
Hulk hands.
Great minds think alike.
This part of what you can do with this. So now I have these two demon weapons that I switch between with D-pad right. And if I really want to, I can start a combo and then end it with a different weapon by moving the D-pad stuff. So there is a lot of technically difficult stuff you could be doing, like managing what buttons you're pressing and how many routes you're going with all this, and then still switching up with this. Like, this game can get complicated.
Yeah.
As complicated as you want it to get, really.
Yeah. I have a very intricate question. So you do those delay combos where you use the final hit from a different weapon.
Yes.
If you wanted to say do the first 2 hits of a weapon and then swap and do the first hit of a different weapon, so not use the pause, how hard is that to do in this?
Let's try it. So, like, I want to do... You're saying you want me to do, like... That's a bad one.
Like the first 2 hits of
First 2
Rebellion
hits of
into the...
Okay. So, first 2 hits of Rebellion into, like, the first hit of that.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, wait. That's not
Okay,
a
you
good...
just have to be really quick.
That's... Well, okay. Let's say I want to do the first hit of this.
Yeah.
That's not the first hit of that, so...
Yeah. Because, yeah, what's happening is the delay combo's being activated.
So, okay.
Okay.
So I can... If I just really quickly do it, then I can go into the first hit again. And if I wait for, like, the delay combo, then I can go into the delay.
Alright,
so
but
I could do this...
You have at least control over doing it, yeah?
Yeah. And see, I'm just cycling the
good,
first 2 of each one. There is a point here, though, before we move on, which is that there's 2 combos in this game. You have your attack.
Someone mentioned this last week, and yeah, I wanted to bring it up. Yeah.
You have your Y, pause, Y. And that's... Every weapon has that combo, and there's no, like, real variance to it. There's only, like, slight variance in, like, some of them don't have that combo, more or less, where it's just kind of singular hits. In a way, that does make it easier to, like, shift into things and wrap your mind about what weapons are doing what. On the other hand, it does reduce some of the complexity of what you can do by not having all those moves. Anyway, let's make slam.
You know, it's like Tak Fuji said, if you just press the XXX or the YYY too many times, you'll be sucked.
Yeah.
Increase damage for... Do that.
Oh, the stomp sound in this is amazing.
Here. Because I also just bought this. Nope, don't do that automatically. So stomp is... Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Alright, what else do I want to upgrade? Let's upgrade that. Increase the area effect when landing. Sure. Okay, that should be good. And I'll just save those 3.
I still hate that prompt, too, between
It's
missions.
Yeah. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. We might see Bob, actually.
See you soon,
Oh.
Virgil.
I haven't talked about Muff yet, but Cat's face looks very strange in this game.
Is it relevant?
I'd like to know who I'm risking life and limb with. He's my brother. He's trying to save the world.
Her face seems less pliable than other characters. Which is she looks more like a Barbie doll.
Listen,
Yes.
I never asked for your help, but you gave it, and I appreciate it. I trust you.
Especially when she takes the hood off in a minute.
See, he's already fully developed character. It's...
I was in a foster home. My foster father was a demon. He attacked me most nights. I had to get out.
Nightmares.
It's okay. I felt nothing. I couldn't physically escape, so I found another way. I aimlessly wandered limbo in spirit form. I found Virgil there. He heard my cry for help. He helped me to deal with the demons, both figuratively and literally. I killed the bastard. Now I want to deal with them all. You're gonna gonna stick with this to the end, right?
Count on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll get more into it in a minute, folks, but...
We've dealt with the succubus. That will have hurt Mundus and got his attention. Now to land the second blow. Disable Mundus's monitoring network. Raptor News Tower. Controlled by Mundus, they have a monopoly over the world's media. News, advertising, entertainment.
Mind control.
Yeah, and surveillance. They spy on the populace through their network of satellites, routers, CCTV cameras.
Yeah, I noticed that bit.
Have you ever considered that Monopoly might be bad?
The Raptor News Network is run by a demon, Bob Barbas.
Bob Barbas is a demon? So he's more than just a fucking dick. And he's in that tower.
Not that tower. That one.
Huh?
In Limbo, that's not a reflection. That's the real deal.
It's a prison, and Barbas rules it cruelly. There's no mercy, and no escape.
Isn't Barbas an elephant with a crown? I can't believe he'd be evil.
You'll have to go alone this time. Cat can't follow where you're headed.
Alone is fine.
Yeah, she can't swim.
She's done enough.
On the plus side, there won't be any cameras down there.
Good.
Dante, we don't know much about this demon.
I'm sure it'll be lovely.
He could have just jumped off the bridge. That's...
I don't know. I think it would have been funny if she had just opened a Bugs Bunny hole and he, like, splatted against the water.
Well, Bob, now I get why your point of view is so upside down.
Dumptious.
That doesn't parse. That doesn't beat out at all, that line.
Because his tower's
Okay.
upside down.
So, what first? What do we talk about first here? Let's get the light stuff out of the way. That, you know, media is mind control. That the Fox News equivalent in this game is also monitoring the populace. They just rolled all that stuff up into one, which is, you know, tidy, convenient, concise. Just to have the mass media also be the means of surveillance and whatnot. Just roll all those boogeymen into one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's on the nose, but it's also very on the nose. So it's great for them. Look, you're not going to hear me. I'm not going to defend Fox News, but, you know, they're not conducting mass surveillance. That's a whole other arm of the government that does that. That, you know, there are very real things that you could have commented on, other institutions that exist to serve that purpose. I don't know, like a fucking Palantir, maybe.
That definitely
or
did
just
not
like, you know, like
exist back
Patriot
then,
Act
right?
eras.
Patriot Act, sure.
Peter Thiel's been cooking for a minute.
I know, but I don't...
He's been controlling the country for a while now. But, you know,
like
we
that
also had
was
the Patriot
less
Act in fucking the early 2000s. So you could have just, like, directly tied it into the government and government surveillance. But, you know, that's just, like, bad script writing. That is, we have to condense all these concepts about, like, you know, cameras into a singular level. So, whatever. It's shortcutty. It is what it is. Okay. Now for the elephant in the room, or should I say the cat in the room?
And you might want to
in case you didn't
rejoin the
catch-
call before you go on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was asking about this in Discord, and no one got back to me. So
I can't see the Discord right now. I'm playing the game.
Okay. So how much of my talk have we lost so far? Just
Oh, not lost anything entirely, but it's just that it's a
too
little...
bad.
Yeah, folks, the internet here where I'm at is turns out to be dog shit, because all I'm hearing is roboting from my co-host. So if I'm a little frustrated, it's a combination of the hack writing in this game and current state of things. So, in case you didn't pick up what they were laying down, Kat was describing how the demons, the monsters, her nightmares that she's been dealing with, that it was an allegory for her father, or was it stepfather?
Foster father.
Foster. Yeah.
Foster father, that they are sexually assaulting her, or that they were at a point in time. And so her coping mechanism was to mentally escape to limbo. You may recognize this as the plot to the Zack Snyder film Sucker Punch.
Yeah. Oh.
Where it's just the idea of, if bad things happen to you, just shut your brain off. Just go to a fantasy world. Just mentally escape in that way.
Well, it's also, you know, the real life thing of people dealing with trauma who do, you know, kind of separate themselves from reality to get through stuff, and then reducing that to a magical power in this game is the problem I have with it.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of problems. I was just being snarky. Yeah, it's yeah, again, very reductive. I mean, this is the game that also said that all medication is bad. Just a scant 30 minutes earlier. Can you tell that no woman at all was involved in any part of the writing process of this game?
So even Limbo has a slammer. Never thought I'd be breaking in.
As the Slime says in chat, these are the writers I least trust to explore these topics in an emotionally mature way. Yeah, these guys should just stick to their high school notebook scribblings about politics and doing the cool S and anarchy symbol or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
By the way,
because the second they try to deal with anything that like is heady, is embarrassingly like bad.
I know we've kind of moved on past
Which
it,
is
but
so-
you're talking about how the whole thing of Fox News brainwashing through media and surveillance got lumped up. Now we're also lumping it together with just jail, with the prison industrial complex is lumped in with Fox News.
Yeah. Yeah, this feels like 2 or 3 ideas that had to get condensed into one at some point. And I want to, you know, speaking on the maturity of things, it is still so wild. This same developer, same lead writer to meme, made Hellblade, which covers themes of like mental illness, mental conditions, and is somehow leagues more mature than this. Granted, they had help, but still.
Just doing God's work, are you, Bob?
Too many competing voices there. It's like one of our streams. Waka waka.
Whoops.
Look, I mean, I could write an essay. I could do like an article about like, you know, and really get into the nuance of like what is offensively bad about the writing in this game, because there is a lot. Just
Have to take a detour.
how heavy-handed and clumsy and just generally uninformed that any of the perspective writing they try to do here is. But, you know, we're trying to do this sort of off-the-cuff. But, you know, if you know, you know. If you can recognize that this is, like, offensive, then you should recognize that and call it out. And I think that the amount of grace or just ignorance, the fact that people who defend this game just pretend that the writing in this game doesn't exist. They just don't acknowledge it or hand wave it as, yeah, the writing's bad. And it's just like, no, the writing isn't just bad. The writing is offensively bad. It's fucking embarrassing when they try to get political or talk about, you know, consumerism. And then it's downright offensive when it comes to the writing of women in this game. Like, to a point where it overshadows everything in my mind. You could make the best playing video game of all time. They could have made DmC 5, right? In terms of mechanics and gameplay, they could have made the tightest character action game of all time. I still would not touch this game with a 10-foot fucking pole or align myself with it in any sort of way, shape, form, or fashion, just based on how bad the character writing and story writing are in this game. That's my disconnect. That's my major issue with this, is that it's just so fucking bad. There's just no word for it. There's no way to articulate.
And it was the major thing this game was sold on. It was supposed to be the big deal of this game. And it's also another thing to bring up about that scene, and it will kind of come up more as well. We've kind of talked about like how hurried Dante's arcs are, because Dante and Character's Cats have like shared their trauma. Now they're connected. Now they're like, oh, we're together.
Tongue.
They trauma
and that's
bonded.
like very superficial to me. It's like it's just that.
I mean, trauma
not
bonding
to say that
is
people...
real, but they rushed it along. It's
yes,
because there's no time to cook any of these arcs, which is what you were saying. I know it's exactly what you were saying, but I just want to rephrase it.
Oh, yeah,
a
you
little
got
bit
to the
and
point
expand on
quicker,
it.
so you're good, yeah. Ooh.
Again, it is the problem, the consequence of Dante is already fully formed in the writer's minds. The second he got his memory back, his journey was complete. And the confirmation of that has been like him wholeheartedly pledging himself to this cause at this point and affirming to Kat already that he's like, no, I'm in this for the long haul. I trust you completely.
Yeah.
And, you know,
and
again...
And Kat as well, just being... Even before that car ride, was already being pretty open about like, oh yeah, I went through this really bad shit.
Back on track.
To a guy that she barely knows. And even she comments...
she's written to be a little too fucking trusting because of the rushed nature of this thing. Again, like, this game takes place over the course of, like, a day.
Yeah,
or
maybe
two.
like 2 at most, yeah.
Would it have been so fucking difficult to just have time in between, even if it's off screen, just to insinuate that, like, and by the way, this takes place like a couple weeks later or a couple months later. We've seen the effects that shutting down the Squirm factory, the Slurm factory, have had on the world now. People are beginning to wake up to reality now. And so now it's time for our second strike. And that would be a way of just, like, getting across, like, okay, time is elapsing, and Dante is developing further, even if it's done off-screen. But the fact that it does take place in such a concentrated, short span of time really magnifies how little there is for Dante to do in this, outside of the action.
Hey, that action's pretty fun. So, all is forgiven.
Now you've been using for a bit, how would you compare these gauntlet weapons to most Devil May Cry gauntlets?
I actually generally don't tend to go for the gauntlets in DmC games that much. It's not a playstyle I usually enjoy. But the fact that they're simplified here makes them more accessible at the very least. Like, in some ways, this is like a fairly accessible version of Devil May Cry. Which is to say easy. Like, there's a reason I bumped it up to
like the
hard.
animations. Yeah. Yeah. I find the animations a bit goofy.
Yes.
But I'm not... It's been too long since I played this part of the game to remember how they felt. I do feel like the charge he does, where he like walks forward, maybe feeling a bit weird. Because you can't really control the movement there. He just does that on his own. But that's very nitpicky, I'll be honest.
I will say, playing this and having played more off stream has made it very clear that the angel weapons feel like crap. Because it's really just like giving up damage.
Yeah, they're very light. You have to do that, like, attack with them for a while to charge up damage with the scythe. And I mentioned this when talking to some people in the Discord with the nuances, that a lot of Dante's Swordmaster moves and a couple of Nero sword moves are just... That's what the angel weapons basically are in this game. It's just because they've kind of split his moveset in a weird way. to get the full move set, that's where they put it to like flesh out the move list.
Does this count as a ice-only enemy? It looks like it.
It looks like it, but I'm actually not sure.
Nope.
I don't think it does. Yeah.
There are some comments from chat I want to read. I'll try to get through some of them quickly, as I can. Rick Helm says, this whole scene, that whole scene, really did remind me of the female love interest in David Cage games. Wait till we play every David Cage game, every Quantic Dream game here on the Bad
If
Game
only she
Hall of
was
Fame,
wearing a white vest and underwear, then David Cage
or
would be really invested.
Make it outright. Yeah.
No.
Bob
David
pointing
Cage
out the
seems
fact
to
that all the
specifically want the white vest.
Bob Ayer says the fact that all the achievements are named after quotes from previous games is sending real mixed messages. Yeah, we did bring that up, and it is yes, absolutely. Slime says the Bill O'Reilly stuff doesn't even feel cathartic because, like, okay, I know that you guys don't believe, and I'm glad you don't believe it, but I don't know if these writers have spent too much time thinking about what they do believe. This game is saying Bill O'Reilly is cringe, carries as much weight as a Cracked.com article saying Bill O'Reilly is cringe. As someone who used to subscribe to Cracked magazine before they had a website, that one strikes deep in the heart, but not wrong. Gun Tanks in Space says, that's the entire nature of this game, I feel. Like, we see it's trying to establish itself while also straying and referencing the older games at the same time. Like, they can't commit to either, so everything came across as half-assed. And best Liz, and this is when I'm probably going to dive deeper into. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this stream in your website is to some extent a celebration of failure. 10 years, coming up on 10 years of celebrating failure. Tune in February 6th, or is it 3rd? Tune in early February for our 10th anniversary celebration. And so if it was a good Western take on DMC, would people still care about it? By being so offensive and badly conceived, it almost becomes more memorable, may or may not be a good thing. Yeah. We definitely talk about this a lot, which is, you know, a boring game is forgotten. A bad game is remembered for the wrong reasons in a lot of cases. But it is more interesting to be a novel failure than a boring failure. Boring bad is the worst kind of bad you can be because it's in one eyeball, out the other. So by being
Devil May Cry 2.
Go watch our Devil May Cry 2 playthrough. The fact that this game has the staying power that it does is owed in large part to the endless discourse around this game and whether it's good or bad, actually. And my sticking point has always been that it's like the people who write off the writing, who that doesn't even factor into the conversation for them, and it becomes this tedious conversation about mechanics. And, like, you know, there's a place for those conversations, especially in this genre, which is so mechanical in terms of, like, you know, style and expression and all these things. There's, like, a conversation to be had, but...
And I will say that I am focusing a lot of what I'm saying on mechanics as, you know, person, hands-on controller, as person who kind of has a connection to this genre in general. That's kind of the topic that I'm bringing to the table, personally.
Yes. But it's just the unwillingness of people to engage with the writing of this game in their conversation, in their defenses of this game, that is always stuck in my fucking craw. Because to me, this is offensively bad. And that's a type of bad that gets my dander up. A type of bad that I really dig into and that really, like, makes the gloves come off. If I see the writers, if I see the story, if I see, you know, the content of the plot just, like, go in these sorts of directions, I feel like as much as, you know, I can give a lot of defenses, I can come up with a lot of excuses for clunk, for jank in terms of gameplay, in terms of mechanics, in terms of the game not executing on its ideas particularly well, in terms of, well, I can see what the developers intended and they just missed the mark, or otherwise conceived it in a way that not every player can acclimate to. Or, you know, I can see the constraints of budget ate into their ability to present this game in a way that was contemporary to a game of its time in terms of, like, budget and scale and presentation and so forth, and the ways that can affect a game. But we don't always get opportunities here to talk about a game where the major failing is its narrative, is in its storytelling, is in how inadvertently offensive a game lands as being, because the writers were fucking hacks who were not emotionally mature enough to handle the subject matter that they center the entire plot of their game around, and it just rears its ugly head so fucking often in this game because it thinks it's so fucking cool because Devil May Cry is a series, as a franchise that is rooted in being fucking uber cool.
Where the fuck does you want me to go?
It's just a complete fucking failure on that front. And that's just like, it just so overshadows fucking everything about the game to me.
It's actually related to that earlier comment we got from Gascan and stuff we brought up in the first episode about the weird dissonance with the game, like the series quotes in the achievements and some of the other references. And if you watch the history, you'll see that, you know, the one voice coming out of Ninja Theory was just to memes. You didn't really get anyone else speaking on it. There's like a couple interviews the combat designer did, and that's about it. So I actually
funnily enough, that Alex Jones fella, I think he also...
Capcom. Well, yeah, he was Capcom, though. But I wonder if he... You know, we know his opinions on the series and his on character and stuff because he was open about it. I wonder if some of that dissonance comes from the fact that other people working at Ninja Theory actually didn't agree with some of the stuff that Tamim was saying and were more focused on like, well, no, I want to make a game that feels... You know, there might have been people who were like working on this game that, you know, obviously to a less toxic extent, but felt similar to how fans were reacting for all we know. You know, because it weren't just like 10 people worked on this. Like, this was a huge production for the team. And I do wonder if some of that dissonance, and then especially when we cover the little bit we'll cover about Definitive Edition, how that game comes off like, oh, this is the game we wanted to make, and Tamim didn't really work on this. It's the impression I get. Because he would have been doing Hellblade at the time and other stuff. Hellblade, Disney Infinity, stuff like that. So I do wonder if that's where the dissonance comes from, of like a conflicting development team. Similar issues to like what Devil May Cry 2 had.
Vessel's points out that like, during the history section, you said that Capcom legends, as Vessel's puts it, were supervising midway in production.
Yep.
People who were legacy on the franchise. We should,
Yeah. The main confirmed name is Hideki Itsuno, but interviews will mention like other developers who worked on like Devil May Cry were involved as well, but we just didn't get specific names for those interviews, unfortunately. I can tell you it wasn't Bingo, the writer for 3 or 4. It was like purely gameplay stuff that they were working on.
Cool set piece.
Here we go.
What's going on there?
Well, not my problem. Anyway, what's over here? Oh.
Yeah, it's a shame at time because you just look at the vistas. Like when you turn around to look at the vista, I did think to myself like, this does look amazing. Like just like visually to look at, regardless of what the subtext and messaging is. Just looking at it purely aesthetically, it's like this looks amazing to look at. It's just
Ninja Theory
wasted.
Ninja Theory was always pretty good at like making things that look good.
Yeah.
And that was about it for a while.
Yeah. And I forget what the exact term for it is. People might have noticed it, but this game has a like color progression. Like as you go through different parts of the game, the overall like shade changes. Like the early stuff was like red, and then the slum stuff that was kind of green tinted, and we're in this blue area now.
I mean, it's just this is.
I know you're there.
I'll have to find it. It's an image from
I'd
the
call
art
this hacky.
director.
This tinting and hue thing is very heavy-handed to the extent that they're doing it.
Unless you give me reason to.
Are you a prisoner of Mundus too?
No. I'm from upstairs. Now, can you tell me how to get to that tower?
This guy's probably not very artistic, you know. You think about it.
Because I want to kill the demon that runs the show.
Very left brain sort of guy.
Will you
Oh,
help?
shut up.
Yes. I can help. If you help me first.
Let's hear it.
Oh, we weren't happy about that. That's a weird end way place to end that level. Forgot about that. Nice.
Well, very good job.
So I would like, if it's okay with y'all, I would like to take a brief intermission, and then we return to the next mission afterwards. Is that all right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, sure.
All right. So, folks, we will be right back in, let's say, 4 to 5 minutes. So, see you on the other side.
We're good to go.
back. Yep, we're back. We're live. I think you're a little close to the microphone, but
It's exactly the same position.
you're
You got
a
way
lot
louder.
louder
Yeah.
now.
Hopefully, better.
Still a little loud.
This is the thing that happens to Johnny frequently, isn't it?
Do you have any game control automatic things turned on or anything?
No, I disable all that stuff. I fucking hate Discord people. I'm ready to just like be done for the night, and I'll leave it to you two if we're just having constant technical issues.
Okay, it sounds better now. Whatever you've done's fixed it.
I did literally nothing.
I think
Okay,
you had to
well,
get
never
used to
mind
your
then.
voice again.
Yeah.
Perchance. All right. Let's move on to the next mission.
Those flying bastards stole my eye. They torment me incessantly. I can't leave here without it. I'm trapped for eternity. Get me back my eye, and I'll take you to the tower. Over here, flying bastards! Come! Go! Go! Follow them! Find their nest!
You can do it! Yeah! I believe in you! I'm just gonna watch him. Like, you know, sure, like, get him hyped up, like, hold on.
You'll eventually win.
Yeah, this is me hyping him up. Yeah!
Oh, yeah!
Yeah, you can do it! Alright, where the fuck am I supposed to go?
Where he is. Trust me. I remember this bit.
Yeah, that's it. Lead the way.
Ooh, shinies. Shit, I lost them. Hey! I lost them.
Try it again. Restart.
Yeah, could you call him back? Guy?
Don't think I've ever seen anyone come back to talk to this guy.
Wanna just chill? Yeah. Got any beers? You wanna crack one open? Hear it. I don't think I can get it from here.
I've more to say on that NPC, but we need a way for him to have more to say.
I definitely need a different weapon to do that.
Okay, you remember that episode of House? You made that joke earlier about the left brain, right brain.
Yes.
And how this guy's missing half his head. There's a shitty episode of House. I mean, I like House, but, you know, if you look at the writing in that show, it's usually pretty bad outside of House's quips. There's an episode where there's, like, this piano prodigy, but he's, like, incapable of doing anything else, like tying a tie or whatever, or buttoning his shirt.
There you are.
And it turns out that he's only using one half of his brain. And so the solution to improve his quality of life that House suggests.
Oh wait, can I guess? Can I guess?
Kill.
I want to guess. Move the right half of his brain to the left half. Huh?
Close. To kill the other half of his brain, to kill the left brain, to basically shut it off, to deprive it, so that the other brain can work. The other half of his brain that controls like executive functioning and whatnot can have a chance. And the big conflict is his dad, who I think is Red from that 70s show, is like, but then he won't be able to play piano. But House is like, well, yeah, it'll give your chance, his son, to be a real boy, to have a chance at happiness.
Yeah, it's unfortunately one of those typical, like, oh, when you're autistic, you've got this, like, magical brain that you can learn and play piano by just watch, like, without trying kind of episodes.
Trying to get
I like House too, but there's definitely some bad episodes. I want to carve that show that just removes any of the actual medical stuff. It would be
just
such
House
a
and
better
Wilson
show.
hanging out.
Yeah.
Just him playing PSP.
Yeah.
The gamer edit. Ow. I shouldn't have held B.
And learning how to play Van Halen guitar riffs. I mean, there's only a couple of times where, like, they tie the medical stuff in well. Like, the episode where he gives the talk to the class and he's, like, retelling stuff from his life,
own origin story,
but without telling them that's what he's saying. Look at that spooky train. I'm just noticing. The whole thing with the color-coded enemies is like, oh yeah, they're weak and they'll flinch to their weapon. But this scythe half the time doesn't even make them flinch. I'm noticing.
Because the scythe sucks.
Yeah.
Like, they take damage from it, but the scythe's never going to really do particularly well. I guess maybe unless you charge it up, but that takes a long time.
They should have played Dante's Inferno and then seen how they did the scythe in that game.
Hell yeah. Ooh, look at that guy. I want to go back to an earlier comment in chat. I believe it's the one from Vestes who talked about, you know, how this is remembered. And we were talking about, you know, like on a technical aspect, this game's fine. But it's like how it comes together and it's fitting in the series. There is that grander talk of this style of bad game. The one that comes to mind as well is Metroid Other M, where it is like if you isolate it, nothing's inherent. Like that game is fine. It's probably decent even to a certain extent, but it's entirely like the context of the series it was released in, the characters, like the audience it was going for, and things like that.
No, get back here.
It's interesting we get to have this different discussion outside of games that are just typically critically reviled or just seen as mechanically broken. But
Several such cases. Yeah. I was going to say many such cases, but it is a rarer breed to be sure.
Yeah.
There are a lot of these at me, which are just not a threat.
Yeah, really reminding me how nothing they are. I feel like they might just be there just to remind you have guns.
Or
because you never use guns in combat because you never need to, because they're kind of useless. Oh, and that reminds me. We haven't unlocked any other guns.
No, there are more guns.
You get like, yeah, you get like all the melee weapons first, and then they give you the last two guns like right afterwards. It's so strange.
Why am I doing this for a crusty old demon? Oh yeah, that's why.
Button prompt.
crusty
that's why.
demon, you say?
You must be the eye.
Oh, you'd love this PlayStation 2 game, Dante, called Crusty Demons.
An ambush. You flunking bastards.
That is a very clunky Devil May Cry 1 reference to Flock Off Featherface. But they couldn't just directly say it because Bayonetta already did that. So maybe just don't say it then. I don't know.
Well, you gotta fill a script. You gotta get a script to
Yeah.
at least 100 pages.
Yeah. Also, I know that it was an intentional thing, but you really do most of combat in the air in this game.
I'm doing it here on purpose, but
Yeah, but like I think the game's even leans to it more. There's a specific mechanic you'll get later on where we get to really talk about that.
no one. Okay, there we go.
Like the fact that that hit doesn't even knock you to the floor.
Yeah.
Like there's making the player feel powerful, and then there's just
That was a cracking good fight.
Now that one didn't even make sense.
I don't know, pandering. Yeah. Oh no.
I mean, I assume the green one, but I gotta know what the other ones are.
Yeah.
Well, that's just a platform. The other one said way out. The one that was green said way out
Yes.
underneath it. I know you're exploring. I know that you're doing it, but like that's you know, there's a term we toss around a lot called signposting in design. It doesn't usually mean put a literal sign in your fucking game that says which way to go. That's actually an example of bad signposting, ironically, when
But
it's literally written on a fucking sign.
But it is not yellow paint.
It's a yellow. Well, these are yellow lights. I mean, they set this in a upside down subway area.
You should have a sign in front of every jump that says, please mind the gap. Every time you have to jump between platforms.
Is this the health thing over here? All right, I forgot the gimmick of this area. I forgot, like, why am I doing this all in the air? It's like, oh, because if you stand on those things, they'll crack and break.
Yeah.
I was just doing it automatically. I was like, I seem to
Secret
remember
mission
I
where you
need to
come
do
back
this.
here, yeah.
That's not particularly quicker. That might as well just be a quick time event. Just a mash X event prompt.
Yeah, I'm really struggling to think why they're even in the game outside of just what makes you do something different.
It's variety. Variety is pressing a different button than the usual button that you're pressing.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, these enemies can actually summon those things. I just remembered.
Vessela's had a random sudden thought in chat. What if the real original sin for the gritty reboot of Japanese action games was House of the Dead Overkill?
Did that come out
I'd have to
before?
look at it chronologically.
Well, here's the thing. There's a game that celebrated a bad game birthday recently. That I would say predates all that.
Shit, I need to remember my bad game birthdays.
We were talking about it before stream.
I don't remember what we were talking about 2 hours ago.
Altered Beast.
Is that Western developed?
No, but it is like Western take on the IP, I think.
I wouldn't say Western take if it wasn't
I don't
Western
know,
developed.
Oh, we want Western developed. Okay, fair enough. There's that one time that I think like a Western developer made one of the Earth Defense Force games.
You're both kind of roboting again. So.
It's gonna happen. I'm ready to again walk away. I'll clear up the airwaves for you two because
yeah, what? I think there's an Earth Defense Force that a Western developer made for some reason.
Insect Armageddon, I think.
And you know, House of the Dead Overkill's fun.
I do think the dialogue in that game is fucking lame. I do think I mean, it doesn't matter so much in that game because it is just set dressing for the shooting. In House of the Dead has never been like plot essential or plot forward. I think the grindhouse shit is lame.
But hey, Guinness World Record for most F-bombs in a game, so that's got to count for something.
Yeah. Oh no! Final Fight Streetwise. There you go. That was a US branch of Capcom that made that.
Oh yeah, there you go. Same ones who did Final Fight Revenge, right?
I don't know if they... Maybe. I know they did the Ark the Lad games. Yeah, I'll read this message from Joe DeRio in chat. Do you think there's merit in a slash action game trying to tackle the topics this one does, or is the clash between gameplay and story too great? Well, Devil May Cry 3 does tackle, you know, deeper topics than most games even at the time were diving into about, like, family, trauma, and, you know, like, the like fundamental different like philosophies that Dante and Virgil have in life, making them, you know, like they're brothers, they have that fondness for each other, but they're still like diametrically opposed, and how that will like doom them to always fight. And yeah, Vesles points out Metal Gear Rising.
I was about to say
I
Metal Gear
remember
Rising Revengeance is my go-to is the answer to that question that yes, it can be done.
Yeah,
it just
which
has
I
to be done
remember
well.
when it and I remember when that game released, like critics thought that game was like hammy, and like its commentary, like they didn't feel it was very good, or they mocked it, and it's like, and then like a couple years later, it was like oh wow, that commentary was actually really on point about America, where American politics were going. It's like, yeah, just because it was, you know, dressed up in that style, it's still had a point to say, and it's certainly aged a lot better than this game.
The eye. You haven't? Have you?
You don't need any screws for that. It just kind of slots in.
See.
It's USB-C.
I can see. Dante.
You know me?
Yeah, I follow you on Tumblr.
No.
Love your retweets.
I know
It's
you're
a different thing.
Sparta. I can see him in you.
Sparta was a demon. I'm nothing like him.
No, of course. You are Nephilim. I can see that too.
What are you?
Phineas. Scholar. Inventor. Prophet.
Perhaps you've heard my brother Ferb.
And until you arrived, political prisoner of Mundus. I am grateful.
It wasn't a favor. You said you'd take me to that tower.
Of course, my friend. Of course. This way.
Yeah, I wish Metal Gear Rising was more playable in the year 2026.
Yeah.
I have the PC version, but God, that's a pain in the ass to make run.
Yeah, I want to do research on that, because I know people do get it working.
I'm also feeling the difficulty with Nephilim mode now. It's making it more engaging. It's also making it so that I feel like I'm doing worse.
No, you're getting through it.
I am, but all right. Let's. Do I want to get anything here?
Maybe just to show them off. Do you want to get the extra gun moves?
Yeah, and I can refund them.
Oh, I've completely forgot that move even existed.
Yeah, I can just show them real quick. AX, and then I can just immediately refund them because I'm never going to use them.
Yeah.
There. Ricochet.
Oh, Vestas has a pro tip. Apparently, the PS3 version of Revengeance is easier to run on PC.
That.
Yeah, that one's weird because it says like, oh, it can launch enemies, but I think they have to be in a very specific state.
What if they're launched already?
Yeah, there you go.
So I'm gonna refund those.
Yeah, it's also a very slow version of Brainstorm.
Hey, I like the refund system. I like that you can just like say like, you know what, I'm not feeling this move, and then
yeah, it was
take it away.
Yeah, it was great in 4, and it's good. It's good they kept it. Yay!
There we go. Oh, wait, it'll wipe all my progress in the current mission that I haven't started.
Fuck's sake.
You were blinded and imprisoned here for how long?
Hundreds of years.
Are you sure you know your way around?
Like the back of my hand.
How? If you've been in prison for hundreds of years, how do you know my dad and my mom?
I forget. You and I see things differently.
Prison News Network.
Seeing things differently can open.
I mean, he's surrounded by screens, isn't he?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You only see evil in me because I am a demon. Try opening your mind. It's all a matter of perspective.
This is like almost hinting at like
and literally.
Platforms will appear if you're a little less racist.
As I said.
Like, is this supposed to be a character development moment for Dante? Because they don't pay it off or bother like expounding on this point anymore. This is the only demon he has like a meaningful conversation with.
A little bit. It's more as they're trying to show that, hey, you know, we've been saying demons are inherently evil. Turns out they're not. Also, it's funny you mention racism, Vin. I think it's very on the nose that's like the one person of color like performance in this game is playing that character.
Yeah. And he's, you know, the token wise old man who guides the white boy on his journey.
There's a scene coming up. I already know. You're gonna be angry at Cass. Oh, but the 100 years thing would be that, you know, demons are supposed to be able to live that long. It's kind of because they're reusing that lore from Devil May Cry, but
an ancient
weird.
Nephilim, like you.
I didn't know there were others.
The Nephilim were the third race. Sadly, they were hunted down and slain.
Why?
They wielded the power of both angels and demons. But unlike them, the Nephilim could easily cross worlds. They were formidable.
Which made them a threat. Like me.
And like you, they held great potential. What a waste.
You, I mean, what a waste you are.
To reach your full potential, perhaps Asio holds the key.
Aha, well, I can bring up, if you remember in the first episode, someone was asking what's up with that tutorial dreamscape area, and it had the massive statue you kept going back to. It's a Nephilim statue, is supposed to be what it is. And you're like unlocking your Nephilim abilities. And that's like the long-term thing they're trying to do.
Ciel?
No, Dante, you idiot. That's just a witch, obviously. Read the text on screen.
Don't wake them up, because then they'll knock you down, and then your teammates have to get you up afterwards.
I want to believe that the interstitials that the character or the enemy type reveals, those bits of text, are just like the other bits of text in the world, like the stupidity and poison and whatnot. That Dante can see them.
Yeah.
It's all diegetic.
Yeah.
See, yeah. And that's the thing I'm going to say, because people always highlight, oh, that's one of the cool things this game did that Devil May Cry 5 brought with the enemy intros. And as I already mentioned, that's the thing they clipped from Bayonetta. They're not even that good here. The screen goes black and it just says the name in the game's font. Like, that's not... Compare that to... You ever seen the enemy intros in Bayonetta with the book?
Mm-hmm. I should play Bayonetta.
That's way
again.
cooler.
Remember House of the Dead?
Yeah.
In the books that pop up when they introduce bosses?
Yeah. I want to play Bayonetta 1 again, but the dodge... For some reason, dodging in that game is really bad for my chronic pain. Not 2 for some reason. I don't know why. Something about the first one. You have to be mashing that trigger to dodge a lot.
Well,
yeah, we had... Okay, yeah.
That's on me. I know what I did
says
wrong.
we had enemy intros. Yeah, we had cutscenes introducing them. But I mean specifically, like, the titles was, like, something that a lot of people lauded. Like, oh, this game did it, and then Devil May Cry 5 did it.
I mean, that's
there we go.
Grasping for straws. If you're pointing that out, it's like, look at this cool and unique thing that this game does. Isn't that sick? And it's just like, you mean like a boilerplate stylistic choice that movies have been doing for decades prior?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool, I guess. Yeah, it's...
I mean, there's stuff in this game that I think... There's stuff in this game that I think are cool that ends up in other games. And I'm like, oh, it's cool that it shows up here. I'm glad they did it in other games.
Yeah, the old Devil May Cry 2 thing as well. But like they were able to repurpose that into gunslinger style, make it more engaging.
Didn't realize that was what we were doing here.
See, so it wasn't lazy, it's the same statue, because you're unlocking your Nephilim that's chained up. It's imagery, do you get it?
I feel like I didn't get tutorialized on anything in Tutorial Zone this time.
You will.
Also, I assume this was like a Sparta statue that we were unlocking, not a Nephilim statue.
Yeah, it's hard to say because we see only human form Sparta.
And we also see Kink Club Sparta as well.
Yeah.
Dante, you are here because I wasn't able to protect you.
Please leave a message at the beep.
For that, I am truly sorry. Your father fell in love with me. A love that transgressed rigid, ancient boundaries. We chose our path in the face of certain annihilation. We never regretted our choices, but we never gave you yours, my dear son. Now, finally, you will have that choice. You will have a great power. A power that will allow you to forge your own path. That, my son, is freedom. Be brave, my son. I love you.
Yeah, pull it.
Oh god, that's so weird they show you this first and then, yeah. I think it's very telling that they
weird how this game does Devil Trigger, that's right.
Yeah. It's the God of War input as well.
Yeah.
Which is very telling.
That's not even the part I was talking about, but...
Oh, no, but it's foreshadowing.
Right. Yep. This is what YouTube videos will tell you will happen if you do No Nut November. Word for aero combat, right?
So yeah, so Devil Trigger in this game is a skip combat encounter button because it just auto launches every enemy in the air and just powers you up. And also charges very slowly as well, probably because they realized. So yes, instead of being this cool, that's not my name. You know, physical transformation, giving you power-up moves and things like that. It's literally just invert colors, launch everything in the air.
Oh, right, the tower. On my way.
Yeah, it doesn't really add mechanical depth to anything. It kind of, like, flattens the combat, if anything.
Yeah. And yes, as pointed out very quickly in chat, this one by Gun Tanks, that yes, Definitive Edition gives you, it's an optional mode I'll mention, but yes, there's an option to use like Devil Trigger closer to how it worked in previous games.
Focus on this
But
one
it's,
too.
you know, it's a good sign of just like fundamental mentality difference of what, you know, the game wanting, you know, the design philosophy between the Devil May Cry and this, where, you know, Devil Trigger helps you in Devil May Cry, but it's not a free win. Whereas here it's just an instant do cool shit.
Okay, I've solved the
And yeah.
witch combat encounter puzzle, which is just use prop.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah. This is reminding me these enemies are also just annoying. Just they seem to have a lot of health and they have
Yes.
that shield. Yeah.
They sort of start crossing into the realm of my rule of, okay, I get it. Which is where you've
Yeah,
solved
yeah.
an issue, but you just have to keep doing it.
Yeah, you must have to path later in the level to get those. Yeah. Also, you notice its hair's gone a little bit white now. Got the skunk mark.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, I know this is partly coming from Capcom as well, but for some reason the big obsession of this, like, quote, origin story, especially when it was supposed to be a canon retelling, was like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we tell you how Dante's hair turned white? And
I
the
mean-
answer to that is, canonically his hair was always white because it's
it's
his demon blood that makes it white, so no.
Yeah.
And we'll definitely get into it a bit more later. But we've seen it in flashbacks. You notice that Virgil had white hair as a kid? What's up with that?
I think I want to get anything. I'll get stuff later. I don't think it's super important right now.
Also, if white hair's a demon thing, then how comes none of the other demons have white hair? Sparta in his pictures has got like brown hair.
Did I come in through that way? Yes, right?
I think so, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, it's weird to me that such a big focus of this game was, like, coming up with a story to justify, like, oh, the hair changing over time. And then they break all the lore around the whole reason the series had the white hair to represent, like, his half-demon, half-human nature. And then, oh, demons just don't have white hair anymore. So why does it represent demon lineage in this game? This is what I talk about when I say this game is sloppy world building. It's not as egregious, obviously, as a lot of the, like, writing and script stuff. It's, like, clunky messaging and things like that. But it undermines, like, a lot of the, you know, symbolism and messaging it's trying to do when you clunkily change stuff that way. Okay, I'll read this, yeah. Versus chat says, trying to figure out who did the tweaks for the definitive edition, and I'm not sure Ninja Theory had any involvement. Okay, so the big PDF put out is written by Ronnie Tucker, who is the lead combat designer at Ninja Theory. So they definitely had involvement, but from what my understanding, that the main porting work was done by Q-Lock, who did the PC port of the original. But I still think some of the original Ninja Theory developers were involved in Definitive Edition. I don't think Ronnie Tucker, you know, did that PDF and nothing else, because she directly talks about, oh, these are mechanics we wanted in the original, these are design things we saw modders do, stuff like that. So I think it's, yeah, like the developing, like, coding stuff, I think is Q-Lock, but design, I think, is still Ninja Theory. And yeah, I see someone ask, like, oh, is the white hair maybe supposed to be Nephilim? Well, no, because you get it from doing the devil trigger. Not a Nephilim trigger. Which is just also adds to maybe you didn't have to do them as Nephilims. Maybe that whole angel connection really doesn't add anything to the character and the plot.
We never seen
Maybe
an angel
away.
trigger in this game, in the series, really.
No.
Actually, we've never seen
who
angel
knows,
shit
maybe
in the series, really.
Yeah. Maybe the hypothetical sequel would have had that. And yeah, it's the big elephant in the room. It's a good time to talk about it. Where the fuck are the angels in this story? Angels and demons have been fighting for millennia, and they're just not in, they're just gone. They're not dead.
We saw them in Dante's bed at one point.
Because no one says they've all been killed. But yeah, like, there's supposed to be these warring factions, but as far as we can tell, Mundus just rules over humanity and angels don't give a shit. And they didn't seem to care about either. Granted, they imply that, like, they broke some sort of traditions, and the angels also didn't like her shacking together with Sparda.
I mean, there's an easy fix for this. Just say that all the angels are dead. Just say that the angels lost the war.
Yeah. My understanding, again, we were talking about this in the Discord last week, is from some devs who have talked in Discords in the past, that the rough draft kind of, like, not written out, but just kind of, you know, like, not written out as a script, but just written out as, oh, these would be cool, is that they wanted to address the big elephants in the room in this game, is what's going on with the angels, why does no one go to try and save Sparda? And apparently, like, their uncle was supposed to be an angel who would come in the sequel. So that would be like Eva's brother or something. So it's definitely an issue.
Send the family out further until we cover all the bases.
Yeah. So it's definitely an issue that some people on the team recognized. But it's just glaring that you went to all this effort to change the origin to make him half angel, and then the story, it makes no difference. It might as well have just kept it as human.
I mean, it'd be better off if they kept it as human, because what is Dante's entire fucking character throughout the real Devil May Cry games?
Yeah.
It is him rejecting his demonic side and embracing humanity.
Come here.
What is
Here we go.
Mwah.
You found your inner devil, all right.
See, told you, demon.
You have yet to discover your full potential.
Mainly, I just want to kill the demon king named Mundus.
That was an awkward cut.
Do kill Mundus.
That's an awkward face.
I love the smash zoom there.
I hope the start of the next level is him still with that face standing there, like, huh? Yeah. Alright, I don't think there's... Because I'm about to get a weapon, I know that.
Yeah. Like, after you beat the mission, though.
Yeah.
Vesles is accusing me of being pissed because I called the Devil May Cry games the real games. I say real games all the time. I always just very mockingly refer to, like, a real video game would do this whenever we're playing a game that's not so good. And by the way, them posting an emote 3 times in a row got auto-modded, and I can tell you exactly why. It's because there's ass in Cassidy, which means I can't type my name into video games half the time. Because they think I'm saying yes.
Alright, I'll go with that.
Yeah, how are you, like, it would literally be more narratively satisfying, fulfilling if Dante were just half human. Which is why the real games do that.
Thank you, Phineas.
It wasn't quite a favor. I want to see Mundus destroyed. And I now believe you may stand a chance.
What made you change your mind?
You were right. You're not just like your father. I see your mother in you, too. You want to hit Mundus hard? This is how. Mundus has power almost beyond limit. But he has one weakness.
He has a weakness.
It's a glowing red spot on
Kick
his
him in the
ass.
dick.
His mistress, Lilith.
His weakness is that he loves her?
Mundus? Love? No, my friend. Yet, she has recently become the most important thing in creation to him.
Here we fucking go.
Lilith, his mistress, carries his child, his heir. You want to hurt Mundus? Kill Lilith. Kill the child. Nothing will hurt him more.
It's more dramatic if I whisper.
But be warned, the fury of Mundus is boundless. Many thousands could perish.
I've yet to hear a downside.
Good hunting, my master.
He really didn't need to call him my master at the end. There's
I forgot about that line.
layers and implications to that that I
wonder. I might have to relook up a definitive edition. They might have cut that line because I don't remember it. And I'm
So this
more
is
familiar with those cutscenes.
So this is where the thread begins. This is where the seeds are sown. Pardon the pun.
Nice.
You know, what's a little infanticide between video game protagonists, right? I mean... Man, how much better would this game be if it was all just these stylish set pieces and stuff, but there's no dialogue whatsoever? What if everyone in this game was mute?
That's why I press the back button every time I play this game throughout the gameplay.
I've not played it myself, but that's kind of what Asura's wrath is, from my understanding. game's just all set piece.
There's a lot of talking in that game too.
That's true, yeah.
Like, honestly, the visual identity of this game traffics in, these presentational bits are good enough that they really don't need the dialogue. You can get a complete story and understand what is happening based on the cutscenes without dialogue and the gameplay alone. If it really came down to it. Speaking of. You ever wonder what it looks like inside of a network Chiron? Well, here it is.
This is what the little men in your TV are having to jump through when they make the news happen. I assume I have to time that. Oh, no, I'm gonna land in the ocean.
Is this the boss fight? Just like straight away?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The bosses in this game are usually just their own level.
It's ironic because he's a demon.
Hey, Bob. Put a spin on this.
My personal view on the
What if his...
That's the one quip I like.
What if his life bar just instantly emptied? Like, no!
And generally nauseating. The worst of them is Dante. The whole world would benefit greatly by his non-existence.
I'm taking you off the air.
You think so? I wouldn't bet on it, you little shit.
Nope, this one.
You know, I see it in chat, and you know, this is like the example that everyone points to in this game of like, you know, like, but isn't this sequence cool? Isn't this interesting? Isn't this neat? And you know, like visually, sure.
Yeah.
It's unique. They're doing some cool effects.
That wasn't the thing I thought it was.
Yeah, I get the confusion because I thought the green was the danger part as well. Yeah, visually it's great. I'm not sure mechanically it's a great fight though.
Yeah, I was gonna say that it's just another puzzle fight.
Yeah. Which is a problem I have with this game. It's not as
and
bad.
Also,
reminds me a lot of that final boss from Yaiba. Yaiba was way worse, don't get me wrong, but like it's the same kind of philosophy of design of puzzle boss.
Segue into this.
Now what we have here is some truly shocking footage of the terrorist known as Dante.
This is almost interesting.
Yeah, this is kind of a cool
This is fun.
You know what's weird?
Other
Batman
games have done
Arkham. Yeah, Batman Arkham Origins copied this. It did come out after this, I'm pretty sure. Let me check actually, because I might be wrong about it.
He attacked and killed the head nurse.
I'm trying to think. There is. I know Metal Gear Solid 2 does, like, you know, the game window within the game over screen. I know Metal Gear Solid 1 does that.
Yeah. Yeah. Batman Arkham Origins was the same year, but late, like October. So there's a funny coincidence they both did this gimmick.
The prison officers.
And I think there had to have been other, like, older PC games that did, like, you know, there's perspective inside the security camera watching you do your action as well.
Crime Wave.
And
the entire game's like that.
You go.
Dozen homicides. And worst of all,
and that's not to say this isn't cool. It's just to say, like, it's not completely unique. And anyone who says, like, you know, no game has ever done this, this is completely original, and it's just like, nah, don't push it.
Of the unholy kind.
Don't overstate what this game is doing.
It's doing it its own way, for sure. There's parts of it that are unique to it. Right? Can't do it like that.
I would say that while this is visually interesting, what are they saying?
News bad. Or Bill O'Reilly bad.
News bad, Bill O'Reilly bad. It's like...
I mean, if people did point this out in the first episode, unfortunately, we haven't progressed that far from some of this kind of rhetoric in the news. But I get what you mean, yeah, it's quite a shallow take on commenting on this.
So, this is like a really, like, you know, I'm not going to do this subject any justice, trying to talk about, but marrying thematic elements to gameplay in a way that is, like, actual commentary is a very, like, you know, high-level concept that these developers are not equipped to handle. They do a decent job of making something that's visually interesting, but says nothing, effectively, in this fight. For a point of comparison, I'm thinking about, and this is, again, a game that came out later, has the benefit of time and lessons learned, the Metaton fight in Undertale. How that entire thing is a performance, that you're putting on a show, and how they marry the elements of that into the existing combat system, and how it works as a development of the characters that feature in that fight, and to flesh out the world, and it just manages to marry a bunch of concepts together through the means of what is, if not a super visually interesting fight, given that Undertale's graphics are, you know, of a very particularly primitive style by design.
At one point, it was just terrifying. He definitely had pedophile eyes.
I saw one girl, like, beg for her life, but, like, he said he was gonna kill her anyway. And then he did. Like, totally.
Since that horrific attack, it has come to
Like,
light...
what are these snippets supposed to? I mean, they're slandering Dante. Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a message for the Order.
Is it supposed to be, like, also, like, making fun of those eyewitnesses, making fun of eyewitness testimony?
Yeah.
Well, they're faking,
that one's a bit weird.
testimony, I would imagine, in this
Yeah.
case.
We will find you.
Yeah, which I was going to say is why it's a bit weird.
It's only a matter.
I don't know if Bill O'Reilly ever went that far.
Just doing God's work.
And also remember that this isn't just a Fox News parody, it's also a parody of the Information States. So that muddies this a lot.
Bring you breaking news. The terrorist organization responsible for the recent attacks has been located and is being stormed by SWAT teams as I speak. 2 of the terrorists identified in these images are known to be in the compound.
Bastards.
How'd they get that photo of her?
Cornered in another part of the city in a separate...
They stormed the compound.
Photos of Virgil, but he's a complete unknown.
They stormed the compound. They're like, hey, pose for the camera.
At any moment, dead or alive. This is Bob Barbas of the Raptor News Network. Just doing God's work.
Like, the most that this boss fight is saying, the only bit of nuance here is that you are fighting a literal talking head. That's as far as they got.
Also, I cut off the "We'll do it live" line. Oh, you're still not?
Good, fuck it. It's hack. It was already tired by 2013.
I did, yeah.
I saw
it on there.
On him was that. Fair enough. Fair enough. But yeah, that was... It goes too far in a few places, but that is like the most egregious of just like, yeah, we get it. Like, it's weird. Like, either they just thought it was really funny to make the reference, or they thought people really would not get it without it.
I assume it was just for a laugh.
Sure. Yeah. A gaff.
I'm trying to think of what I would do armchair game developer, right? To make this fight more thematically or narratively interesting. And it is a tough question. I mean, it's not like it's an easy fix. It's not like, you know, I'm just saying, I guess, that, you know, as neat as this is, it could have always gone further. And to so desperately cling to this fight as being like the highlight of the game really goes to show that this is the best trick it has. And if you really like think about it for more than like a few minutes, if you like actually play it rather than just seeing a clip of it in a YouTube video, wet fart.
Breaking news, Bob. You're fired.
I still think put a spin on this is a funny line, but that might just be because that's a very British insult.
Bob in chat cheered and said, you know what the big thing is? Once you get past all the flash and all, this is a really boring fight. You run around in a circle and jump a lot. There are Crash Bandicoot bosses with more going on than this.
Yeah.
I was saying earlier that I think Ninja Theory's strength back then was they had a lot of flash and a lot of style.
Ooh.
And they were missing a lot of other things. So, yeah. I
By
think
the way,
that
you
is
get it, spin, political spin. That's why you got those
Yeah.
rotating blades. Do you get it?
You've already lost.
Well, no, something weird though. Those are angel weapons.
Yeah, because he's doing
Why does
God's
Bob have
work.
those? I've seen some like fan theory that he's supposed to be like an angel who went turncoat, which is a cool theory, but you know the text doesn't support that. They say he's a demon, so oh well, could have been a cool idea.
Speaking of cool ideas, I think I
so-
landed on what I would do.
All right, so you get a spinny weapon from Bob Barbas because he's spinning the news, right? So you get the fist weapon from Succubus because you would let her fist you.
Yep. Okay. Here's my idea for this fight. That would retain a lot of the visual elements. It would take a lot more work, obviously. But a fight where you are like shooting through screens, like that last shot where you shoot through the screen and it affects the real world. I would have done more with that. I would have used it to say something about, like, you know, the reality distortion that is seeing things on a screen. I know it's hack, but that old image of like that's media, where it's the person looking at someone like through a camera on a set. You see like from the one angle it looks like people running away from each other. On the other it looks like someone stabbing them. You know what I'm talking about? Does anyone know what I'm talking about with this shitty image that I'm referencing from the internet?
I'm sorry. I mean, trying to buy items. I'm lost now.
I know the more general concept because I have seen it in recent years where people will, you know, take still images from Fins to say, hey, look at this bad Fin. And it's a very clearly out of context image. Something that's been happening in the past week, even.
So, you know, this would also be a puzzle fight, but, you know, something where you need to discern who the real boss is through the screens, where you're presented with multiple different visions of, you know, there are like, you know, enemies like that. I think there was one Virtua Quest who Charky really enjoyed fighting, where they would have the mirror images where they would split into ghosts.
Yeah.
Something like that, where you have to figure out in real time who the real like version is and who's just like, you know, projections from a screen being distorted in front of you.
So make
that's
it a worse
like,
boss
that's
fight, is what
very
you're saying.
I mean, if you wanted to use it to say something, if you wanted to have any sort of pertinent political commentary, rather than just using politics and anti-consumerist and anti-capitalist, you know, ideas as just set dressing, which is what this game does.
Ooh, wait, I think I want this item. That looked fun.
Yeah, the Spinneroonie. I believe Round Trip is also on this weapon somewhere. Yep, there it is. I see it.
Which one?
Yeah, you've already got it, Round Trip.
Oh, up the
Oh, it gets Caliber. I forgot this weapon gets Caliber. That's a Nero move. It's so weird how many like regular sword moves are just stuck on these angel weapons. Yeah, I already said in the first part that this game is Raiden is what if Fight Club and They Live was the Matrix. But I think the more I think about it, it's also like I get the feeling that some of the writers on this are the ones who are like, yeah, the Fight Club was cool. Tyler Durden's whole philosophy is cool.
It was sick, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it comes from... Okay, here's a take.
So, well, here's my question.
I'm going to present a take.
Right now is, do we want to do one more level, or do we want to call it here?
No, call it here.
Okay. Well, let me pull us up on the screen so we can give our closing thoughts while I stick around in training mode.
I lost my point that I was going to make, so that's awesome.
Oop. Tyler Durden was the last thing we were talking about, if that helps.
No, it doesn't.
Tyler Turden. Alright, well, I'll give some thoughts going into this. I think with the gameplay, you know, a lot of what we said early on, me and Sharky, kind of rings true throughout. But I think in terms of what's changed here is that I definitely think as you progress through the game, like the weapons they give you and the upgrades get more underwhelming. Like you get so much in that second level, and then from then on it's like, yeah, you get the fists and they're fine, but they look very goofy. And then you get one more angel weapon and it's very utility, because it's like, yeah, it's kind of just round trip ability where, you know, you make a melee weapon that goes off and attacks enemies. And then obviously the Devil Trigger being such a step down of just, yeah, it's just a kill everything in the room, skip this combat encounter. And it's weird because we are about like halfway through the game and we actually have most of the upgrades. It's weird, like they stop giving you stuff at a certain point. In terms of the story though, it's like gone way worse. Like whatever subtext they were trying to do, it's like really falling on its face now. The world building's compounding the messaging they're trying to do. It's more than on the nose. It's like now it's inside your skull. It's pierced the skull. You're bleeding from the subtext. That's not even subtext. At a certain point, it's just the text. And it's, yeah, it is really egregious how much that stuff was given a pass. Again, considering what the game sold on. And unfortunately, because we all know where the story goes, it's just going to get worse.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's weird. We've had bad games where the gameplay and level design gets worse as it goes on. This might be one where the writing gets worse as it goes on. Like, the more that it tries to expand the story in this world and the characters, the more it's like, oh, you can't do this. You can't do the basics of making character things and make sense and plot lines. Like, you've already undermined your whole demons being evil capitalist consumerist thing, because you pointed out that no, demons aren't inherently evil. Look, here's this nice guy who was in prison. So what's the analogy anymore? Like, what is it specifically about these demons that makes them want to be evil capitalists? You'll never know. But yeah, like, it's still, you know, I'm not gonna say it's not a fun game to play. There's still fun to be had with it. But it's definitely, I think, like, as it gets on as well, it's a bit, it shows too much of what it has to offer early on. Whereas the extra weapons you're getting don't feel like full extra weapons like they did in the previous games. They're just like minor additions to the moveset. To me, that's just a personal thing though. But that's my thoughts.
I gave enough thoughts during the episode. I don't really have much to say at this point. Writing bad. It's gonna get worse. Game design, level design, all this stylish stuff in service of nothing, with nothing to say, is exhausting. That's all I got.
Mm-hmm. No, it's totally fair, because again, this game looks amazing in places, but the the messaging and symbolism under it is so not dense, shallow.
All right. So, yes, the story, as we've said many times, bad, getting worse, will get worse. It feels. It lost my.
Keep going. Keep going.
Oh, okay, yeah, you have fun. Um, did you just like hit start and it just let you start playing and take it away from me?
Yeah.
All right, that's interesting. So yeah, as far as the story goes right now, it's like they want to say something, but it's only on the most surface level of saying something, and they're trying to say so much at the same time that any of their metaphors are getting completely muddied too. Like mixing Fox News with surveillance state, with the prison economy, with such and such and such, that it's like the metaphor is getting lost. Like anything you want to say is lost because you're trying to say everything at the exact same time, and they're not even saying it with much grace or nuance. They're saying some of it with some degree of style. Having the Fox News thing take place in like a news chevron, having it cut to helicopter footage, like voiceover as you're fighting of a news broadcast, like blaspheming you. That stuff is stylish in a way that does look cool and read as like, oh, that's creative. But creative, like, stylistic choices is kind of all they have going for them with this, for the most part. And because
okay, I have something to say. I remembered what I wanted to talk about. What I wanted to talk about earlier.
I said go on.
Is that stop? Is that you can't write a game that's politically pertinent when it's written by committee? You just can't. I think that's what this is really revealing, is that you can't have a team do a political game because you're going to have so many people who come from disparate ideas, who have differences of opinion. When the only thing they can settle on is consumerism bad, then no one's going to have anything interesting to say about it. That's a reason why indie games are infinitely more mature in their storytelling, because they are very singular visions, usually written by one or two like-minded people, right? You look at a Disco Elysium, and then that game has a lot to say because it has a voice, a clear voice. This is a game written by committee with corporate interest, all fucking entangled and interwoven into it, being hamstrung by the nature of the publisher oversight, and having, this Hollywood screenwriter, then this creative director, and then a team of hundreds having to try and implement that vision in a way that actually functions as a video game. It's fucking fruitless. I mean, it's doomed from the fucking start.
It by nature can't say anything particularly meaningful because it has to be like a product. Like, it has to be like an easily consumable product, so it's very milquetoast takes. Like, energy drinks are kind of bad for you, but there's a lot of marketing behind them. Talking head news media is pretty bad because they kind of distort the truth. It's like, yeah, that's not daring. That's not really deep commentary on anything. It's like, yeah, but if I can get to the gameplay, then we're starting to see some of the gameplay mechanics kind of falling more flat. With, I would say that it's becoming more apparent how simple some of the interactions between things are, how limiting some of the weapons are, especially with angel weapons seeming to have like some very specific utilities but not enough strength in combos. Despite the fact that they are combo machines, you can get so many hits out of them, you still need to build up so many hits to get that damage out that you're wasting potential damage by using angel weapons. Demon weapons are good for singular hits, but that sort of just only adds as a good punctuation mark to a combo. Cashing out on that Rebellion axe combo thing is a good use for it. But it still feels mechanically satisfying to play, but the magic of the depth kind of wears off a little bit. There's a lot of things you can do, but it is not a particularly deep game when it comes to combat. Oh, go figure. DmC is not actually that deep. It's still serves to be fun, but they're introducing elements to it that are just sort of getting a little tiresome, like the color-coded enemies and putting them in the same room. It's like, yeah, that's not a fun fight to do. The witch enemy, which is just, do you know how to use prop? All right, now you can do some damage on her, like, a couple of times. Also, just Devil Trigger, that is a weird way to implement Devil Trigger. Like, to take away the idea of it being a new form that has its own bespoke moves and, like, combo abilities and, like, utilization. It is, as Johnny was saying, like a skip fight button. It's just like, everything's launched in the air, go get your triple S real quick. Like I said, it's still fun to play in, like, a primate push-button-do-thing kind of way. But that makes for a bad Devil May Cry game, because Devil May Cry is, like, a deeper series than that. I think it's one of those things where I've heard people say, like, this would be better if it wasn't called Devil May Cry. And to an extent, that's true. To an extent, if you remove the baggage of it being attached to Devil May Cry, then you can kind of appreciate it more as a, you know, interesting, in places, kind of fun to hit buttons character action game. But A, it is tied to it. B, there are still like fundamental flaws in this gameplay system. And C, like, the story attached to it is dog shit. So it's one of those things that if you see this story and you completely recoil from how, like, tasteless it is, and you go, like, I can't do anything with this game, understood. Completely understood. Because it is so tactless. It is so crass in what it's doing. Not in a cool, rebellious way, but just in a, like, embarrassingly edgy way. And it'll get worse. We've not seen the worst of it. So, yeah, I think this is, so far, continues to be what I think really is a bad game that just happens to sometimes be fun to hit buttons in. But it's bad. I think that'll do it unless anyone else has a follow-up.
No. I think you covered that very succinctly. I'll say, playing this again for the first time, you really can just mash buttons and get stuff to come out without really trying.
Yeah, I'm sure that appealed to a lot of people.
You're doing all sorts of cool combos, and I'm really just barely doing anything.
I feel like that's probably something that appealed to a lot of people, was the idea, I'm taking control back, was the whole, like, oh, I can press buttons and make it look cool, which, I don't want to gatekeep. I don't want to say, like, you shouldn't have that, but it does sacrifice, you know, the depth that I think a lot of people come to DMC for.
Yeah.
But that's a argument that could be had a different day, I suppose, or a conversation that could be had. I think for right now, it's best to say, folks, thanks for joining us again tonight here on the Bad Game Hall of Fame. Join us next week, not at this time next week, but sometime next week, for the continuation of DMC Devil May Cry. For now, we should get to the schedule, though. Dash, you want me to handle that?
Yes.
All right. Let me just pull up schedule real quick.
I know it. I could say it. On Thursday, we are continuing our Patreon voted playthrough of Danger Girls. That will probably be the conclusion of that, part of our other Raiders of Tomb playthroughs. On Saturday is going to be a new episode of Chance Time with Cass, Sharky, and I believe I shall be returning to mix up the odds. Perchance I'll come up in the roulette this time. We'll see. And yep, Monday will be our, as ever, weekly show, the Casual Monday, where we bring not so bad games and just chill, chew the fat, have a lot of fun. But next Tuesday is the big one, is the 10th anniversary spectacular, 10 years of the BadGameHallOfFame.com website, and that will be kind of a streamed take on the original article that launched the website, which is every ET, the extraterrestrial,
Not entirely
video
true.
game.
The article at launch website was just ET for the 2600, but then I did a later
Oh, it's
article called
just-
The Other ET
ah,
Games
okay.
Roundup,
Yeah.
where we
I was
covered
close.
every other ET game. But yes,
And we'll be doing
Yeah,
the
I was
roundup
close.
there for all of the ET
Yeah.
games.
as well as me sharing some thoughts about the history of the sites, looking back on 10 years, maybe me getting some gripes out of my system too while I'm at it, in my style.
Yeah, it's the one where I get fired.
And then DMC Devil May Cry. Oh. And yeah, DMC Devil May Cry will be on the Thursday instead. Though I believe the week after that will be back to the regular Tuesday slot. Just bear that in mind for next week.
All right. And if you enjoyed what you saw here tonight and would like to support us financially, you could do that by becoming a subscriber on Twitch, a member on YouTube, or a patron on Patreon. Any or all the above will get you access to the Patron Saints channel in our Discord, where you can vote on the direction of the show going forward. That's how we've been playing Danger Girl, and once that's done, we'll have another poll up to decide our Thursday games in the future. But if you can't support us financially at this time, we totally understand. You can go ahead and join that Discord anyway. It's free to enter. We talk about games, talk about not games. We play some bad games now and then. We are wrapping up January's Bad Game of the Month Club game, which has been Habitrail Hamster Race. That does mean that next week, I would assume, Johnny will have another bad game for us. So if you missed out on this one,
look forward to that.
then join in so you'll be ready to play the next one. Another way you can support us that doesn't cost you a dime is to share us on YouTube. We got a playlist over there for suggested viewing, 20 handpicked episodes that we think make for good onboarding. Or if you know someone who hates Bill O'Reilly and has been waiting 20 years for someone to have the guts to say that Fox News is biased, show them this episode and it'll be like, thank God, finally, someone is brave enough to stand up to this media giant. Bill O'Reilly got fired how long ago? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
With that said, Kess, do you have someone you want to raid tonight?
Nah, we'll just close the show out.
All right. Well, in that case, everyone, thanks for joining us. See you next time, and a good night, everybody.
Doodles.
Bye-bye.